What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Monday Night Wave podcast. I go by Jay. I'm your host. Episode 2 is pretty much the same thing in episode 3. Music producer about 13, 14 years. Avid, wrestling fan. That's how we got this. If you enjoy wrestling, if you enjoy, just some quick, little beats or whatever in the middle of that, this is a perfect place for that. I'm going to introduce my co-host. He was here last episode, and y'all love episode 2. I've been getting a lot of nice, feedback from episode 2. But without further ado, go ahead, Hero, do your thing, man.
All right. Hello, everybody. I am your mother's favorite heel, the king of gorgeous Hero. And normally, lone taker, I would ask you, what do you want to pot about? But today, I'm excited to say that we have our first guest. He was the best man at my wedding. He is known as the High Council at my home, DT. Say something.
What's
Come
going
in,
on,
man.
y'all? What's going on? What's going on, y'all? DT here, first time on a Monday Night Wave pod. Um, Ready to get it in. Ready to talk what we've been watching for a minute.
Let's do it. Okay. So episode 2, I asked Hero how he got into wrestling. So for you, it's gonna be pretty much the same thing. What was your intro into professional wrestling? Like, was it family? Was it just you, just by yourself? Like, how'd you get into it?
Yeah, actually, wrestling was initially connected to like Star Trek Voyager, which is kind of crazy. But my stepdad, um, we used to just I finished my homework after that. Couldn't be up past 9, that kind of stuff. So we would always end up watching like UPN or watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and that's kind of how I got introduced to wrestling. Obviously, it started with Raw, and then once The Rock transitioned from the Raw to being like the face of SmackDown, I was always on SmackDown. It didn't matter what was happening on Raw for me. So that's kind of how it started. I never actually got to go to any live shows as a kid or do any of that stuff. So um, now, as I'm older, I'm trying to just make my inner child smile. I've hit like 3 or 4 live events now. I'm watching every PLE. Uh, Try to hop in at least once or twice a week and catch up on the shows on Hulu. So, uh, big avid wrestling fan. And most of that is thanks to actually your mother's favorite heel for bringing me back into the fold. I think it was like 20, I want to say 2021, 2022, somewhere around there. Um, and Hero came to me. He's like, "Yo, man, I know you used to watch wrestling in the past, but you really need to watch it now. It's super fire. There's a lot of stuff going on. You'll find somebody you like." The first wrestler he showed me when I got reintroduced to it was Finn Balor. Love Finn. And then I watched a couple episodes and ended up just being enamored with Roman Reigns' story in the Tribal Chief. So, um, yeah, full blown oos, if you will, for a
Oh, so
fan
you
of
feeling
fan of the
oozy?
bloodline. Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
feeling
yeah,
you
man,
feeling oozy over
yeah,
here?
yeah. So
That's
yeah,
dope. It's funny because just how popping it's gotten from 2020 until now, which is if you were if you would watch during pandemic, this is the perfect time to be a fan because all these storylines are new, all these characters are new. It's just a completely different feel. Um, I think a large part of that is because Bloodline has been a thing for 3 or 4 years now, so you're just familiar with the product because that's the longest running storyline. Um, cool. I like that. Okay, man's a fan of the Oos, and the same thing we had last episode was like the UPN. Like anybody without cable, bro, was watching UPN, and then SmackDown just came on. You just like, oh well, like I said, I'm here. I'm also see what the fuck Rock doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
yep.
Word. Well, that's all great. So let's get into this week's news. There was a lot of news this week.
Absolutely.
Uh, the first thing I'll bring up, I guess, is finally it seems that Monet Watch is finished. It seems like it is all said and done. That she's going to be at AEW on March 13th. TK's big announcement this week was that they're going to be in the TD Garden, which kind of got spoiled a little bit by the Garden, or yeah, the Garden posting
They
something,
did.
but Apparently the tickets sold out. So, as far as is she a draw or not, at least for this first show, she will be. And it seems like she's heading to AEW. So finally, she chose a job. I am excited.
That man said, "In Boston, yeah, okay, I like it though." Like, but we talked about it last week to where like you just wanted to see her like somewhere. We just want to see her work. You know,
I'm sick of the will she will she won't she where she choosing. It's like what LeBron did when he went to the Heat, but it's been drawn out for like 2 years, and it's like I need you to choose a job, please, so I can choose if I want to watch it or not. Please choose a company.
that
But
is hilarious.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
he said he called it big business. So big business in
mhm,
Boston will be
triple
the
B's.
hopefully the announcement of Mercedes Monet. Um,
Mm,
and I'm gonna talk about more of that when we get into like the AEW segment. But like I
mm,
am excited for that for sure. Um, I guess my story that I think I want to talk about was kind of what like Seth said about the whole like like Vince thing and how like the creative direction and just what everything's looking like right now.
mhm,
Um, and I believe let me see, I'll pull it up right here. He says something in the regards this from Russell Talk. This ain't from me.
right.
Uh, he says, "You know what day to day for us is? It doesn't change things for the talent. We're so far removed as talent from that stuff. It's awful. It's terrible. I hate it. It's a disgusting situation, but we're so far removed from it. When we get to work, it's just like, how do we make this show the best possible show we can? Who are we out there with? What's the promo going to be? What's this match going to be? And how do we entertain the fans? Because that's really what our job is. That Vince stuff, that's personal, that's business stuff, and that's so far above where we're thinking and where our brains are at. We're not going to do anything that's going to impact any of that. It's an awful situation. We'll focus on what we do day to day. It's just be like what's like in any other sort of business, just structure. It's awful and you feel terrible and you wish you could have seen it and done something this and that. But at the end of the day, your job is your job, and that's what we do. We show up and we try to give the possible, or give the people who pay for our tickets to come into the best possible show we can, and that's kind of our department. Um, and from me, I guess I won't say that's like, I don't expect anybody to come out and bash anybody where you work at. Like, that's just not going to happen. You're not about to get this crazy, like, well, this is how I feel and, fuck VKM. Like, that's not going to happen from anybody within WWE. But I will say, I am a fan of, like, him addressing the situation. Even better than, like, Triple H did at the press conference after Rumble. Um, because like when that happened, it was like, yo, are we gonna talk about it? He was like, we had a great week, Netflix deal, 500 mil, and it's like, hey bro, like empathy, human
Hmm.
empathy for sure. um but yeah, I'm gonna end it with like I like what he said. It's definitely PC, but that's what you're supposed to do. You got to be politically correct, and he didn't say anything wrong. Just coming from his standpoint, like we just focus on like wrestling. Ain't nobody had Vince's phone. Don't nobody know where Vince live. Ain't nobody got invited to Vince's house, as far as we know.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with like that response.
I feel like it was a good response. I mean, I'm a Seth stan. He usually typically tries to say the right thing. And yeah, I mean, based on just those particular allegations with Grant, like it seemed like most of that stuff was at the headquarters during pandemic. So yeah, I mean,
Right.
the talent is not going to know about that or see any of that like that. I mean, not like in the old days. I feel like they are a little further attached from that stuff. So I think yeah, it was a good response. I think.
I like it.
I, I think that it just speaks to the space that they're in when they show up to work now. I mean, obviously, like them being able to say, "Hey, that's not what we're focused on." Um, it lets for me, it lets me know that like they're taking care of things on the back end with the current roster, making sure everyone is safe, making sure their job is to solely focus on producing the best product imaginable, and just relieve some of those outside stressors and that unnecessary stuff. So, I think it's a great statement from Steph.
Yeah, it's like just double back on what y'all said. It's just they're the talent. Like nobody knows what their boss is doing. That's like any corporate job. You don't go inside Amazon, but I know what Steve Jobs is doing. Like, or Bezos. My bad. Like you just don't you don't know until it happens, and it's like, yo, I don't want no parts of that. All right, we're gonna leave that over there. Hopefully, that's like the last I hear about it from like that standpoint. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a couple more questions throughout Mania week and stuff.
absolutely.
But yeah, at the end of the day, the talent doesn't know much. I mean, we can bring up all the old dirt that we want. I've seen a lot of people bring up the Ashley. I cannot pronounce her last name. I don't remember it.
Sorrow.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
And that stuff was disgusting.
Fuck yeah,
I
it was.
wasn't watching during that time, so I don't. Yeah, I only know what I've seen through reports. But yeah, yeah, the talent can only know so much. So hopefully they get less questions, and then they could ask like people like Nick Khan the questions, like people who actually
Yeah.
run things.
Which is why, like I said, I was disappointed in H's answer. Like you're the one heading like the company. I expected like a PC answer from you. Even if you just wanted to focus on the business, you could at least acknowledge that this is what the hell is happening. But I digress. We know we can't get everything that we want.
In a little lighter news, we got the 2K24 reveal trailer this week, guys, and it looked amazing. How you feeling about it?
Personally, can't wait. I've already purchased the 40 years of WrestleMania cover and all the things that come with it. I'm excited to throw one of y'all asses into the ambulance, so y'all can acknowledge your tribal chief.
See, I ain't played none of the 2K games. Only because like I just came like from the era like we had the couch co-op wrestling games.
Mm-hmm.
So playing by myself or against the computers never really felt fun to me. Um, but this one looks interesting. I do like the way it looks. The character concepts is just insane, or like the designs are fucking tight. Um, the
Yeah,
different editions are dope. The 40 years of WrestleMania is fucking hard. I want that in like poster form because that shit's fucking
Yes.
clean.
yeah, that is hard. And they also, which is news, also speaking of that poster, they replaced Brock on that cover of the 40 years.
They did.
And they also replaced him on the video package of the opening of the show. They replaced it with LA
That
Knight.
happened too.
Yeah.
So
But
are we? Side tangent. Are we at the end of like the Brock era? Do you think we'll ever see Brock again?
I think they're gonna let him chill for maybe a couple years. Because I mean, I don't remember his name officially being dropped unless it was in the New York Post version. But I don't think his name was officially dropped. It was just obviously heavily implicated, and it's one of those things where it's like, who else could have been?
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going to like put him in the background for a while. Then I don't know, maybe next Rumble we see him again or something, or maybe maybe we don't never see him. But shit,
It's
be a
tough.
good human. I don't know.
I think from a performer standpoint, Brock has way too many fans to not at some point make a comeback. But pretty much here, like you're saying, he's probably gonna be like give him the Lizzo treatment. The allegations come out, you don't see them for a while, and then they just pop up at the Grammys one year, and it's still kind of quiet. So I think with all the stuff going on, once everything the dust settles, people will forget. That's this age, this time and era we in. People will forget, and he'll get a pop on sure.
It just
Yeah,
depends on how like um, how the fans feel. As Hero said, fans can be fickle in the Daniel Bryan way, fickle. Um, and I guess like just for me, it's like seeing what happened to like Velveteen and like that boy is nowhere to be around. And
and
then now we
they're
got
trying to
Brock.
repackage him, which is kind of scary actually. He had an interview not
Mm-hmm.
that long ago. Finally talking about his story, and it's like, dude, you should have said that 5 years ago. Not to cut, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, no, like they're slowly kind of trying to. Someone's trying to bring him back. Hopefully not H, but someone is.
Well, do you think that like, fuck, man, I don't know
I
how to like,
think I think I think Brock is a different animal, different beast. No pun
right?
intended. I feel like he will be like we will see him at a Saudi show in at least like the next 2 years. I think.
Because he's a moneymaker, yo. He's
Yeah,
gonna
he
bring
yeah
in bread.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and like because of this allegation, because he's not great. then we got robbed for what was supposed to be Gunther versus Brock at this Mania. At least that was the heavily rumored match. So and I feel like they're gonna run that at some point, unless he never comes back. And if he doesn't come back, we still got people like Gunther and Roman and The Rock is back. Yay! So
We don't
we still
need
got
we
people.
don't. I mean, if Brock don't come back, it is what it is. I mean, we got Braun Breaker over here.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, let's wolf dogs, bro. Let's go,
Wolf
baby.
dog.
Hey, man, you talking about a descendant of the big bad booty daddy, baby?
Good God. Oh,
In some surprising news, two different promotions let go of some people. Or it seems like Rossi from Stardom stepped away and he's going to create his own promotion, which is cool for the Japanese talent. And then also surprisingly, TNA fires Scott D'Amore, who essentially kept their head above water
had them
throughout this
popping.
whole time. Yeah, it got them popping. Had them like he's the one who got like the Trinities and everyone else in the last couple of years and redesigned, like revamped that entire damn company, and then they just let him go. So yeah, that the wrestling news with this week has been absolutely crazy.
It's weird because like the TNA one caught me off guard because it's like you want to be a competitive program, and he was doing that. Like he had TNA like, yo, we're gonna go check out some TNA matches because they look like they're on the come up. So to see that he gets let go, and to also hear that some of like the talent was upset, like the
Yeah,
way
he
they
was.
handled that with the talent, like that wasn't cool for them either.
Yeah, apparently super cool, super, the opposite of what a VKM is. And uh yeah, everyone loved him, and there was reports saying like he was asking for more money so that the production could be better. And if that's the case, that's that's a bad reason to fire somebody, because again,
Right.
they've been bringing up the company, and as soon as you get a little hot, it's like, all right, now we don't need you no more. It's like, it
Like
doesn't
that's
make
kind
any
of
sense.
crazy. But
Yeah.
that's also business. It's like, okay,
Mm.
we're gonna use your marketing campaign to get us to make a lot of money, and then we don't need you no more because we can see that we can make this at a very cheaper cost and XYZ. It's like
Mm.
I just feel like it was just weird. Like he was doing well. Like
Yeah, it was
why the
left
fuck
field.
would you let somebody go?
Yeah. All right. Well, there's some other news, but I feel like we've been burying the lead enough. You guys want to get into this press conference? Or do
Let's
you
hop
want to
into
save the press conference until SmackDown?
yeah, let's hop into Raw. Let's talk about Raw because
All
like
right.
the way the timeline works. Let's talk about Raw.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. So, Raw this week. It started off with another Cody and Seth opening the show, and then we get some Rocky sucks chants, which Michael
Absolutely,
Cole was like, "Is it 1996 again?" Um,
man. Nation domination. Like
man,
what? What are you
man,
talking about?
yeah. Which was, yeah, that was wild. Um, yeah. So yeah, how did you guys feel about that opening promo?
I feel because during this time, like there was no decision made for Cody. At this
Hmm.
point, he's jumping from last week's Raw to this week's Raw, and we still don't know what the hell you doing. On top of that, you're getting crazy heat from the fans, and like nobody's focusing on like what the hell is going on. Everybody just wants Cody to go push past Seth and
Mhm.
get to Roman. I also do agree like that I don't like the way it's making Seth look. Like you are the champion. Whether or not he chooses you or not, you shouldn't be out there advocating for this man to to choose you. I don't like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know how I felt about it last week. I would, what I wrote. Okay, so I still don't like the super pick me, but if you look back at Roman's promo, also when he was clowning Seth, he was also asking Cody to fight him, which was kind of weird too. But what Seth said this last Monday made a little more sense. It made it a little less desperate, but I'm still on the same train as, yeah. I don't really care for the choose me type shit. Like, let him choose who he's gonna choose. I mean, but
They're also dealing with
yeah,
just crazy backlash because like from
Mhm.
Friday, like
yeah,
it was You can tell they're
It
pivoting. They're
yeah.
pivoting
Well,
everything right now.
yeah. Well, dude, you was gonna say something?
Yeah, you got some. He hot.
I think at the end of the day, they did a great job of listening to the fans. Um, whether they chose to, whether this was an initial plan or not, dragging this out, it brought so much attention, so much heat to it. Everybody was hanging on every word of every individual that was a part of the promo, um, a part of either show, whether it was Monday or Friday. Everyone was hanging on to every word, and then obviously through the weekend and growing, it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming,
Absolutely.
and I think they did a great job of creating their own viral moment and heat for prepping the biggest WrestleMania of all time. So
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think Trips and I don't think the company could lose either way because there was so much attention. It's like one of those situations where it's like um, any
There's
publicity is better than no publicity, or there's no
Yep.
bad publicity. Like it was just,
yeah, no bad
how do
press
you
is good.
have? Yeah, you had something trending for 72 hours, the number one trending topic in an entire country for 72 hours. Like that's a win in itself. So
And you know
I
it's
just wanted
big because it's dipping into like avenues it shouldn't be in. It's like I'm seeing like like certain hip hop podcasts like just talk about like wrestling. It's like y'all talk about 50 Cent and Drake and everything like
Shoot,
y'all
yeah,
talking
Joe
about
Budden was
Cody Rhodes.
recently talking about it.
to.
Yeah, I think that's what
Yep.
I saw. It's like they was
Yep.
talking
Yep.
about, and that's huge, bro.
Yeah,
That's huge.
Joe Budden, TMZ, yeah, a bunch of there was a gaming Twitter site, like all they do is talk about
Mhm.
games, and then they talk about it's wild. Wild,
And
Hashtag
yeah.
ASL. Hashtag we want Cody. What you mean?
and I think that speaks to exactly what they wanted. The Rock is such a well-known, polarizing public figure. We could just get past the what he's meant to the wrestling business, but um, the moment he interjected, quote unquote, himself back into the story of this in this manner, like you could see it pulled people from all different avenues that either hadn't been paying attention to wrestling or just know The Rock from everything post wrestling, to want to check it out and want to see what's going on. Like obviously, people are like, oh, it's not going to put seats in butts or butts in seats because they've already sold the tickets, but it's not about that. It's, can you create a moment where you crash Peacock because everyone's gonna want to watch? Like, can you bring that much
Man.
viewership? So I think
I don't
that
think
it's
it's gonna be
been.
hard to crash Peacock. Sucks.
Well,
It's my
listen, they
bad.
might. No, you're right. They might do it 2 or 3 times, but like, um, at a place where I work, I had someone who I didn't even know paid attention to anything wrestling come up to me and was like, "Yo, you hear The Rock is wrestling again?" And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I don't even associate you with this bubble. Like,
At
and that's
all.
when it hit me. That's when it hit me. I was like, okay, wait a minute. This is going to be huge. It doesn't matter what they do. Um, it's going to be a W for the company in itself because you're bringing eyes and
You're
they're
bringing
doing
new
it.
eyes. You're bringing
Yeah.
like fresh. We don't want your old dusty attitude era eyes. We want the new money.
Hmm.
And that's the one. The new money or the new eyes are the ones that you can kind of like you can kind of fool and keep the facade over because like they don't know anything.
Yep.
Somebody gonna see this WrestleMania and think this is the greatest event they've ever seen.
And
I
it,
mean,
it
it
could
might
very
be.
well be too.
it
Yeah.
might
Like
be.
it
It
might,
might
yeah.
be.
It's not XL for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure. They definitely doing it big.
Right. All right. So get back on track a little bit. So they start talking. It's all face and face stuff. It's all great and gravy. And then the biggest hater in the planet recently, that's not myself, comes out and interrupts. And when I'm talking about the DM hunk,
DM
baby.
Let's
Hunt.
go, baby.
DM
Drew
Hunt.
interrupts. And Drew is great.
Hey,
Someone just
hey, hey,
recently
hey, hey,
changed their name to DM Hunk. How you feeling about this new Drew run right now, DT?
hey, man. I, first of all, I love heels. I love bad guys. They're much more complex. They have different layers to them. he is truly the winner of the Player Haters Ball for 2024. It started
Hey,
with
hey,
Cat
hey, hey,
Williams,
hey,
but
hey, hey,
it
hey,
is
hey, 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 hey.
it's hate. It's definitely Drew McIntyre. I almost bought that shirt. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yes, and when he interrupted, he debuted a new shirt, and and it's funny because it's a meme based off of the Arrow show, which Cody was a part of. Cody's friends with Stephen Amell. So there's just multiple layers to that joke, which makes it great. It just makes it hilarious.
The funny thing is like watching Drew get this momentum off of one injury is crazy. Like completely changing your character off of somebody's injury and then riding the wave. Like I don't think I've seen anybody do it this good. Like every week is a different level of hate.
he, when you think he can't go any lower, he goes lower.
For
Like
sure. And eats it
so.
a lot. And like I said, last week was like his social media, like the stuff he's throwing on social media is crazy too. Like the dude is living up the heel.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't even think he's not even like he's not going low in the sense of like it's low bar, it's low hanging fruit. He's speaking his truth, and like I mean, I wrote multiple times in my notes. He is spitting. Like he's just, like it's it's not like he's not doing like low hanging fruit like oh your dad's dead, but no, he's just like you like he's like you should finish your story, man. Yeah, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do that so I could beat his ass. It's just like
Right.
it's good shit.
And then and looking at Seth and being like, why are you even trying to challenge him? He already beat you 3 times. You shouldn't
Yeah.
be trying to fight me. Like
Yeah.
any chance he has to throw a barb or a jab, he's getting them off on
For
everybody. It
sure.
don't matter who's in the way.
For
Yep.
sure.
Which we'll get into it later because yeah, he shows up on the other show and spits some more. Pause. Uh, all right. So, yeah, Drew attacks Seth with a cheap shot. Cody defends him, but that's pretty much it because Cody's in the main event later that night. Now we get into some real heat, which I'm going to be surprised if this is not your favorite match of the week, Loner, because we get the fatal 4-way tag with New Day, Imperium, the Creed Bros, and who's that fourth team? DIY. How'd you feel about it, guys?
That was look this week. I'm just gonna look. Had that been the last match I've seen, or if I like this week wasn't as packed as it was, that would have been my match of the week. It is
Mhm.
not, but it was hard.
Mm.
That was a
Okay.
great fucking match. Okay,
Yeah.
like because I heard about the Creed brothers, but I've never like seen them in action. And them boys is they got it.
Yeah,
They
they're
Same,
they
good.
they
same.
they for sure. Like it's like if you just took like college Olympians and
Yeah.
then just gave them the injection of Kurt Angle, and then there you go. Two young embryos out there just fucking going crazy. Like they them dudes is nice. And they're athletic. Uh
Yeah.
the spots that they were doing was crazy. The selling is nice.
Yeah.
Um
There was a lot of good ass spots.
yes, bro.
Champa almost killed Xavier Woods, kayfabe wise. When he what was it, the Widow's not the Widow's Peak, but he did the that move off the top rope and they slammed it all the guys. That was amazing. Yeah,
That like 4-way superplex.
yeah, that was an amazing spot too. There was a lot of amazing spots to the point where it was getting this is awesome chance, and it reminds me. I mean, like the tag division again. I wrote in my notes in all caps: split up the belts, please. There's too
Yes.
much. There's too many tag teams like, and they're all cooking. And if you guys remember last year's Mania with the tag invitational thing, we had that great Street Profit spot and Titus O'Neil in the background. Like, I'm assuming they're gonna do another tag type thing this year, and man, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I have in my notes, I have uh belly to belly into double belly to belly. Like there was like so many like just suplexes. It was it was crazy, yo.
It was
Like
great.
they were solid. Um Overall great match. I love the fact that DIY because DIY got it right. Yeah, they were the ones who
Y-
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah. Um
yeah, they get the
I like
win.
what I like what Triple H are doing. I like pushing DIY. Like I like the momentum. The We Are theme is catching with me. I caught
Mhm.
myself like, okay, I'm familiar with the theme song. Um, I just hope that they can continue the run. Like just keep pushing them. Yo, what if they lose? Like have them challenge whoever gets it. later if they split it up, whatever the case may be, just keep DIY together and just give them the backing.
Yeah, yeah, they're slowly establishing that both shows have an incredible tag team division. Like, DT and I were talking last night. Like, I wrote a list of all the tag teams that could, like, they're just sitting in limbo because these belts are split up, and uh, I mean, these belts are together still. And once that happens, and like other people have things to do, and like we talked about that with the women's tag last week, also. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's getting there. It's slowly getting there, but man, I love a good tag match. My only gripe is I hate fatal 4-way tag matches because I don't like the format. I don't like that there's only two people in the ring. In my opinion, there should be all four niggas in the
Oh,
ring,
you
and you
want like
tag
tornado tag
and
four
you
way?
tag you because you could just it's two people in the ring and you could tag whoever you want. Like it
The
can make for some
concept, yeah.
yeah, it can make for some fun spots and some good yeah, it could make for some fun spots, but to me, I don't know. To me, it's weird. Like if DT's my partner, I'm not tagging you. What the hell I want to bring you in the match for? I want my friend in the match so I can win the match.
Right.
Yeah.
It's yeah, but that's just a nitpick. I mean, they've been doing it that way for years now, and I just hate it.
You got anything to add in, DT? You got anything about the four way?
For me, nah. I was happy with the spots. I like the tag teams that were in there. I will say that was my first time watching a fatal 4-way tag match. So, as Hero was talking about the tagging random people in for different spots, I was confused because I was like, "Wait a minute, hold on, you're not even on this team." Like,
Right,
Well,
right,
there
so
was a
right,
there
right.
was a part in time where Pat, like, and I quoted it. Pat was like, "Who's even legal?" It's like I don't know what's going
yeah.
on. I'm just seeing some cool shit. I don't know what's going on though.
And
All right.
please correct me if I'm wrong. But I did like the fact that Champa had enough ring awareness to kick Gargano off and
Push
actually
him out.
finish it.
Yeah,
That I was like, okay, that pulls it together for me.
yep,
Y'all are paying attention to the little details. But
yeah.
um,
That was I caught
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That was great.
From
All right.
there, I think what the next match was the Shayna versus Becky, right?
Yes, and then we get some more examples of the new production and how like they're doing promos now, which
Hmm.
I'm liking this new format. I did note because okay, so a couple months ago I saw this video of it was a TikTok and it was like Shayna sounds like Naruto, and every time I hear her speak, I can't get it out of my head, bro. Watch a clip of her talk and then watch a clip of dubbed Naruto. She sounds exactly like Naruto, and I
Bro, you hit
cannot
on my head right now,
I
bro. I
cannot
don't
get it out of my head. I love Shayna. I'm a Shayna fan though. But yeah, Becky versus Shayna, and way better match than the WrestleMania match a couple years ago.
bro, what? Yes, I was watching. I was like, this match is great. Like this is pay per view worthy. Like the way they
Yeah,
was like performing in the ring was very much so pay per view worthy. Um, I I was kind of expecting like, okay, Becky gonna get hers. We know she wants to get it. Okay, I'm expecting like a squash match or whatever the case may be, but
hmm
that was not it. It got me kind of excited because I still want like Shayna's NXT run. I want her to
yeah,
get her shot that she was supposed to get back then, like
yeah.
before like push like Ronda heavy and whatnot. But like the whole
Yeah,
submission magician like Shayna and like she was dominant. I want to
hmm
get that back, and if we can get that, I'm cool. Even if I just need to see her like get the belt or get somewhere close to it, in like one of those marquee matches.
yeah. She has yet to have a singles title run yet, but yeah, no, I loved NXT Shayna. That's what I mean. Yeah, I used to watch NXT more than any other show for a while, and yeah, no, I like Shayna. I like Shayna a lot. Her promos could still use the work, but she's great in the ring and she can sell. She knows how to put people over. It's great. How you feel about the match, D?
Um, I mean, I've been critical of Becky, of trying to see why so many people love Big Time Bex, the man.
I'm right there. I understand.
Um, and I'm starting to come around a little bit as I've like grown into watching it and paying attention. She does a lot of directing in the match, so I've been paying attention to that and how she's elevating people. Um, but I'm really excited to see where Shayna goes now that she's not attached to Ronda. I was not a fan. I'm probably like a lot of people, but I was not a fan of Ronda in the ring. And now seeing Shayna on her own for my first time, um, I'm going to be interested to see where they take her as a character.
Yeah.
It's because I think right now it's her and like Zoe, right? Like that's
Yeah. Right now it's
two,
yeah.
and I get it. You kind of still want to get Zoe like over and get her like acclimated to like the main roster and whatnot.
Yeah.
But after we get done, I want to see Shayna out here, people tapping. I need to see arm bars and ankle locks and all that chokeholds. I need to see it. Put
Yeah.
somebody to sleep, Shayna.
Yeah, baby. And after that match, Becky wins. She wins her way to the chamber in Perth. That's gonna be fire. And then we get another promo for another lovely lady, and it's a really good promo.
It's also
For
crazy. This is Becky's first elimination chamber. Like she hasn't been in one. I think that's because
yeah,
they said like it's their first elimination
Mhm.
chamber.
yeah. Because the women's chamber has only been around maybe 5 years or so, and usually she's the champion, or there was a time she was pregnant and stuff.
Facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
fucking
so
nuts.
and I'm 100% sure she's going to win this chamber, so I'm excited for that. And then after that, someone else who's probably going to be in the chamber, Liv. She dropped in another amazing promo. Well, I wouldn't say another amazing. She just got back, but she dropped a great promo. At least in my opinion, and she was like, "My revenge is about Rhea Ripley," and I got a little hot in the room after that. For me, I was enjoying it.
This motherfucker here, man. Goodness gracious.
Listen, everybody knows mommy's always on top. So
Yeah,
they all gunning for Liv, Becky,
yeah.
Naya.
And Liv
So
has a story with it because Liv, Rhea shoot injured her, and then also they used to be a tag team. And when Rhea first went to the dark side, I think she betrayed Liv, or was it
mm,
Nikki? It was one of them. I think she betrayed both. I don't remember,
I
but
left the promo with questions. It's like, what do we want to see from Liv? Like, what kind of growth do you want to see? Do you want you want to heal Liv? Like, what is it that we're looking for? So that we
um,
hold her up to like the benchmark, hold up to standards and stuff like that.
yeah, I think after her feud with Ronda, when Ronda took the belt from her, we started to see a more edgy Liv, a little more aggressive. Uh, Yeah, I mean, she just got back. Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on low, let it simmer, see how it cooks. Because Liv is a fan favorite. I mean, I personally like her. It is. I'm not gonna say she's my favorite, but I think she's great. And yeah, I think we should just let it play out and see what happens.
Uh,
I think she's gonna get a 1v1 with Rhea at some point. Um, Maybe before the Becky match. Uh, yeah.
do we want her to be like? Do we want her to get the title back? Do we want her to be like? Like I think Liv's title run was a little underwhelming, but I think that like her losing it and her getting back this time, I think a second Liv run might look way different than the first run for sure.
Oh, I think it absolutely will, but I think it's gonna be a while because I mean it's gonna WrestleMania is gonna be Rhea and Becky, and
Yeah, we know that.
uh, if Rhea retains, then that's great. Then we can get that 1v1. If Becky gets it, I don't know. And then we still have Cargill that's gonna come out at some point. Yeah, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know. It might be a minute before she has another singles title, but she's a main player, and she's going to get TV time. She's a main player. So looks like
yeah.
we lost D.
Yeah, we'll get him back in here. There we go.
Word. All right.
That
So
man got
yeah, after
tech issues.
I forgot what happened, but my next note was Adam can't control his damn show. So I don't remember what. I don't remember what happened after
Oh, because
that.
The Rhea promo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Rhea came out.
Rhea comes out. Yeah,
Spicy.
yeah. He says, "No,
Yeah.
Adam can't control his damn show."
Because then Naya comes out and she's beating up security, and I'm like,
Yeah.
um,
I honestly think the Rhea Nia match it's scheduled out to be a really good match, and I hope it's a really good match because like the way
yeah,
they're building this, like there's a lot of heat.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And now that speaking of Naya, you can't wait. Can you? Oh, uh, okay.
Nah.
I don't. What is he?
We can't hear you, bro. Hold on. This man. Let me
I
see.
might have fucked up. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can hear you now.
Okay. I was trying to do it
Yeah.
silently without interrupting.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
All
You're okay.
right.
You're okay.
All right. But yeah, no, I wanted you to talk because you are one of the biggest Naya fans I know, and
Absolutely.
I last episode. I don't know if you listened to the last episode, but I was giving Naya her praise because I used to be very critical of her. But she's been killing it this run. How have you been feeling about your baby girl?
A dominant force. I think it's great. I don't think she's gonna beat Rhea. I would love for that to happen, but I don't think she's gonna beat her. I think she's doing it. Listen, Rumble, she was fired. Um, she's been beating up everybody pretty much in her path. Smashed in Becky's face. I think there's a lot there with Nia in this second go around. She's just putting on amazing matches. So it looks like she's being a lot safer too. So that's just what I'm seeing.
Same. Absolutely.
I think
Shit.
hopefully like man, like because you can't give everybody the belts, but Nia is doing like a phenomenal job. Like she knows her
Yeah.
role and she does it really well. She gonna go in, smack people around, choke somebody out, like bully somebody. Like that's just what she's here. Like that's what she's there for. I just hope that like it's not like that's not the forever role. Like we need to see
Yeah.
more development from Nia. We've been seeing this version of her for so long.
Yeah. Hopefully. Hopefully we get her in a tag at some point. Like see some more character development. Just honestly, I haven't seen Face Naya in a while. Because she can be comedic a little bit, but I don't want to pre-book or fantasy book anything. I've been enjoying this run, and yeah, I think Naya's been doing a good job.
Where do
But
you
then,
think? I was gonna say, where do you think she goes from here though?
I mean, she's gonna lose the chamber, and then after that, I don't know, probably feud with a Liv or someone, or honestly, probably go back to Becky to probably try to take Becky's spot, and then Becky can finally beat her 1v1, which sets
Mm.
up Becky and Rhea again, and so she might have to do the job a couple times, but I mean, she's gonna be on TV, so I mean,
Yeah,
she
they'll
wants.
probably have like a women's like like not rumble but like battle royal at Mania or something like that. They'll throw her in there
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Um. All right. So next match. After that, we get a mixed tag, and it's Ivar and Valhalla versus Tozawa and damn it, what's her name? Wow, what is her
Maxine?
name? Yeah, Maxine.
Maxine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Jeez, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Which,
yeah.
which, uh, Michael Cole's very horny for those antlers. No pun. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like that's the second time he's like, "Oh, she's wearing antlers, or she's not wearing antlers. Where's the antlers at?" I'm like, "Damn,
Nah,
Cole!"
Pat got Cole acting brand new. I ain't seen Cole this energetic in a minute, yo. Like Pat got him acting like it's like when you go to class and your best friend in that class and y'all know you're about to act up. That's
Yeah.
what you get between Pat and Michael Cole, yo.
Yeah, yeah. Because that man, he be going up for those antlers in more ways than one. It sounds like.
Man, he,
Um,
if I was Wade, I feel some type of way. I'm like, you wasn't doing this like this. Come on now.
Hey man.
for real. Yeah. It was a quick match, but I must say we got I'm all for throwing people out to the wolves and see what happens, but Maxine is not looking good in the light, and maybe we should just keep her in the PC for a little bit.
You know what's crazy? I'm the complete opposite. I think I think Maxine has it. She has the frame. She definitely needs more like time wrestling, more time like training and whatnot. But she 1000% has the look. She has the frame. She just needs the character and the move sets and whatnot, and then she'll be good to go. I'm gonna ride the Maxine train and just kind of like wait it out and kind of see how she like develops because we all know everybody starts in like their first like group or tag team that kind of like gets them like introduced into the business and then they just like fucking just take off. And I think Maxine can definitely be one of those ones for sure.
Yeah, I mean, she has the charisma for it. I just think maybe just keep her on house show, like wrestling wise. Maybe just
Yeah.
not put it on TV yet because it's looking funny.
I gotta get that game tape out. We gotta get the tape out. We gotta see what we
Yeah,
can work on.
show me the footage.
We need to go over the X's and O's.
Yeah. All right. So after that match, it was a quick match. Then we get a Judgment Day segment with R-Truth returns, thinking he's back in the gang because he got jumped in a second time.
That's funny.
Hey,
Truth is killing
sometimes you
these
got,
segments, yo.
man, this man is a national treasure. So, sometimes you got to get jumped the second time just to reaffirm, you know what I'm saying, the acceptance. So it happens.
And it's to the point where like it was funny because at the end of the segment, like Priest is like, I just don't know what to do with you, man. Okay, you're in. Fuck it, whatever. Just
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself. Have fun.
yeah, just make yourself home.
Because it's like they're treating it like the little brothers where like you about to like, bro, I don't want you to be with me. I'm gonna beat you down. You gonna stay over here. But nah, you take the ass whip and come right back around. What we doing, big bro? Judgment Day. Let's take me outside with you. Like it's giving me
Yeah.
like that kind of like energy, and I love it because what are you gonna do? Beat him up again? He's gonna come back. Like he gonna be right there.
Yeah.
Plus I know they seen like the merch sales. I know the Truth merch is like that shit's shooting right now. I know like they're doing numbers on that.
Yeah, I mean, shit. DT got 2 of the shirts, and
He did.
spoiler, if we talk about SmackDown, he was getting LA Night pops. They was saying we want truth, and they were saying it loud. Like he, like this man, every year he rejuvenates his career, whether it's through comedy or not. It's like he is a national treasure. It goes without saying, 100%.
That's insane.
It's insane and it's great. So in that segment leads to Big Head versus Miz, JD McDonough, which it was a fine match. And then Truth comes out, and Michael Cole, was it Mike? It might have been Michael Cole, but he even says like, I think maybe Truth is playing dumb, and like he's effing them over on purpose.
Sabotaging them?
Yeah, slightly sabotage. It's possible. I don't honestly. I have no idea based on the way he calls someone the wrong person.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, he comes out. Matt, yeah, he comes out. He puts a shirt on Dominic, so his arms can't work. He gives JD his cut finally, which distracts him for a. Damn it, what's the name of his move?
Skull crushing finale.
Skull crushing finale, baby, and the money flies.
I love that. I put that in my notes where I love the fact that like the cell with the money popping up. Like I think that was cool. It was definitely entertaining for sure.
Yeah. So it was great, and you need those kind of matches in between the shows. Like you need the comedy, you need the palate cleanser, and also it was still a good match because I'm a Miz fan. I don't think Miz puts on bad matches personally. And then JD McDonough, granted, he is a nasty man outside the ring. He's good in the ring. So
that was like my favorite JD match. Like from how much I've been watching of like JD, like that was the one I was like, okay, JD can really like throw down in there. Like, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Now that you're back, how did you feel about it, DT?
First of all, I might have missed a little bit because I got kicked again for some reason.
Yeah, you got kicked. I'm gonna figure something out. When we take the audio break, I'm gonna go and try to like see what the hell is going on.
Okay. What was?
We were talking about the Miz versus JD McDonough.
You know what? I did not. Did I watch that match?
You didn't see the
I might have
come
missed.
out and put the shirt on Dom.
Oh, from the okay. So I saw pieces of it, but I didn't watch the whole match. So
okay.
But I did hear Hero mention it earlier. I'm all about the R-Truth JD merch. You know what I'm saying? And if ever you're in need, Judgment Day, we got you. Live, laugh, love, baby.
Yeah.
Live, laugh, love. That's
or you will be judged. The Rave Girls cut a promo. It was fine. I don't know if that's newsworthy or noteworthy. But after that, we get the Braun Breaker debut.
Hey, we're not gonna do them like that. Hey, like,
I mean, I like them, but
and like they cool, but like I get it. Like it was a skippable like promo, but them girls can wrestle. They have hella team chemistry too. But yes, they did throw their club promo, and it was like,
It was,
what is this?
it was
Like,
yeah,
Do
it
they
was
have a name yet? Like a name for the tag group?
nah, I think
no
it's just what
Casey
Because
and Katana or whatever,
yeah,
yeah, they need
or
to
Katana Chance and Casey.
Carter.
Yeah,
They
Casey
need
Carter.
to they need to do a play on something with that. There's two KCs. They got to figure something out.
Yeah, KC Square. Honestly, I think you said that the other day, or maybe even the internet said it. But until then, I'm
Yeah.
calling them rave girls. Those EDM ladies. Um,
EDM group.
yeah, yeah. So then after that, we got the Braun Breaker. I don't want to say, yeah, it's a debut essentially. And the crowd barks. So the crowd was even effing with it. I don't remember who he fought. I didn't write that down. Or
Braun?
did he fight? Did he fight anybody?
Nah, he was trying to
Okay.
kind
No,
of
he was
figure out if
just
he's gonna be on Raw or not.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I need to start writing if there's matches or if it's just backstage promos. Um, all right, so yeah, he gets in the background, and then we get a CM Punk hospital promo or recovery promo. How you guys feeling about
Yeah,
that
like
promo?
these are always good to see. It's always good to see, like, how like the surgery went and whatnot, and like, and to see that they're okay. Because
Yeah.
sometimes we don't get these, and like you'd be like, damn, like what happened to XYZ, and then you go and look up stories,
Mhm.
and like, oh, he had a staph infection or like shit like that. Like I remember when Truth was out, like Truth was going through it. Like
Mm-hmm.
so to actually see that this is in a brighter spot, cool. I'll see Punk. What we looking at, like SummerSlam maybe somewhere around there.
I would say he might just return at Survivor Series again.
That wouldn't be bad. I mean, yeah, I don't
He's
know. He tore his tricep or what was it?
Yeah, his tricep.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So he tore his tricep. And I actually watched. What's funny is I didn't watch the hospital promo, whatever was on the live show, but I did watch the digital exclusive stuff on the WWE uh, YouTube page. And he talked about one how he was already gassed before even going into the match because he was too amped. And then after the match, he was just kind of glad that it was over and he was able to make it through. So I think it's just been a lot of like emotional wear and tear on him. Obviously, no pun intended, the wear and tear on his body, but like it's a lot to go through the journey he's kind of went through and come back and then have this huge reception from the fans and then have this big moment. So I think I wouldn't expect to see him until SummerSlam or not SummerSlam. I'm sorry, Survivor
Survivor
Series.
Series. Yeah.
Yep, get him some more some in ring work and get his endurance back up and all that stuff. So
Yeah, and he does make an appearance at the conference, which is cool. So yeah, I don't mind promos like these, especially I don't mind keeping people around if they feel like they can do things like a random commentary thing, such as the press conference and whatnot. Then yeah, it's like a slow way of again putting someone on the simmer, you know. So it's like we don't forget about Punk. Punk is still here. We just signed this man. He's not going anywhere, injured or not. You're gonna hear his voice at some point.
Yeah,
So
I don't think
I'm all for
we
that.
could forget Punk. Like, there's no way. Like, people are still like hoping out that like it's all like a joke and you just come back at Mania, but like that's not gonna
Yeah.
happen. The boy is down.
No,
yeah,
no,
nah,
yeah, he's done.
those tears I saw were real on the on the YouTube page. He was really crying. He had a somber moment. Him and Cody afterwards when he was telling Cody he tore it, and I was like, damn. I never really watched CM Punk, but this got me kind of emotional. So
Punk is
Yeah.
Punk. I don't know what I could compare him to because he's must see TV when he wrestles. He has great fucking promos, cult fucking following. Like, I wish there was something I could compare it to, but like the people love him, like no matter where
Yeah.
he goes.
Yeah, I'm like I am still not the hugest fan of him, but when he has a microphone in his hand, he can get me motivated anytime. Like he's a really good talker, and he can tell a story through his words, which is a funny way to say you could tell a story because usually use words for that. But yeah, no, yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah, it made me care, and I don't really like him. That I'm neutral on him, honestly. So it's like, but it made me care. I was like, oh man, that was a really good promo. Like I
Yeah,
enjoyed the promo. And
I think
I think from go ahead,
real
continue.
quick, just to add that in there, I think what did it for me, because like I said, I never paid attention to him. I didn't see the hype. Um, I think what did it for me is when we went to Raw here in Portland, and then I saw everyone else's reaction to him and how they just popped, and I was like, okay,
Yeah, once you
I
see
could
it
do,
live, it's different.
yeah. Once you see it and you can feel it, I'm like, okay, I'm riding. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
and
I
that
think from
leads to
there,
another. Oh, go for it.
I think from there we got the Gunther, the 600 days of lose.
Yeah, it leads into it's Gunther with two
Gunta,
O's. Gunta.
Gunta.
Which is I think, but probably my favorite segment of the whole show. Besides, I mean, yeah, I would say it's my favorite segment of the whole show. Love Ludwig. Ladies and gentlemen. That pops me every time.
hey, you might as well do the whole thing, bro. Demand the attention.
Man.
I demand all your gratitude. Just funny as hell. Gunther had some nice pyro, and then again, and I said this last week. I mean, he's always been good on the mic, but ever since that Miz promo, like he's been talking a lot more. And this man is boring people up on a consistent basis.
Oh,
The
he's talking
shit that
shit. He's talking that
the
talk.
shit,
Yeah,
the
he's
shit he
coming
says
coming
is
for
so
next, yo.
it's so
Listen,
fucking good.
if I could slap you in your foot and you tap out, like what you gonna say to me? Your chance right
Yeah,
now,
like
and they run for count to 10. Like you're not fucking with Gunther. He don't got just hands. That man got paws. He got mittens.
nah.
So the story, the seeds that have been planting the last couple of weeks has been, it looks like that's going to be Jay's attempt to get his first single title, and then Jay comes out, and the crowd goes crazy. You get the yeet yeet. And then I don't know what Jay says, but I had to quote what Gunther said. He's like before he started barring up Jay, like this, and I'm going to use this. He's like, I'm sensing some kind of disrespect, and then he just started barring him up. Oh man,
That man said, I got a quote. That man said, "Simple gestures for a very simple audience," and I was like,
Yep.
"Damn, man!"
And then he says, "Oh my goodness," he's like, "I'm gonna beat you worse than your family ever did. You gonna wish that you were back to the days where they was confusing you with your brother." Like I had to,
What, bro?
I walked out the room. I wish my wife was here. I had to walk around the house. I did the black person do thing where you just walk around laughing, and I walked into every room fucking laughing. I did not expect him to say that shit.
Like that shit was fucking crazy, bro. Like,
Oh,
I'm sitting here watching, like, oh, this is what it looked like to be on top of the mountain. Like, ain't nobody touching. You can say whatever you want. What you gonna do? You're not gonna out
the
wrestle them. What you gonna
the
do?
thing that I like the most is through all of those jabs. One of the lines that stuck out with me the most um, is he talked about the amount of work it takes. Where he was like, I had to do this on my own, 100% of the work. He said, you mostly only ever done 50% of the work. So like, I think just from like a character build, it puts like that doubt in Jay. So
Mhm.
I'm interested to see how he responds. But yeah, you in line. Gunther he was on that boy's muffin top.
Yeah, he
He was
was.
on that boy's head.
Hey, man, we got to get this belt off him, bro. We got to get the IC off him because it is time.
He,
It is
it is,
time.
but like right now, like I don't want them to play with Gunther. Like if he get it, I want him to get it. I don't want him to fucking have the match with the champion and lose. Like nah, if he gets it, I want to see him as the world champion.
Okay,
That dude definitely deserves it.
can I do a quick fantasy book? Just a quick fantasy book. The way that
What you
I
got?
see it, okay, you have Jay beat Gunther in the first match in the IC.
Okay.
It can be with shenanigans. It does not have to be clean.
Mhm.
Gunther, because I'm assuming unless the women's chamber might end the show if not Rhea, but you have Gunther take somebody out and enter into the chamber and then win the chamber, which happened. That's happened before. I think Edge done it. That's a couple other people have because Edge like injured Kofi right before Kofi went in, and then he entered the chamber. You have him win the chamber. You set up Gunther versus Seth. Seth can beat him, or I mean Gunther beats Seth. And then also it sets up Jay versus Jimmy because Roman's gonna be like, Jay has a title. Where's your title? Take that title from Jay, and that can set up their Mania match because they're gonna fight at Mania. And I mean, besides that Rumble match, they haven't interacted yet. So either Jimmy's going to cost Jay that title match at Elimination Chamber, or Jay can win that title match, and then it sets up. Either way, it's going to set up their Mania feud somehow. But I was just saying, if we could get this title off of him, like, he needs to be in the main picture. And honestly, as much as I love Drew, I love Gunther a little bit more. And I would rather see Gunther and Seth at Mania would be absolutely fire. And
That's
we have
funny
not
'cause,
seen
like,
we have not seen that match yet.
I was like looking at the Elimination Chamber, like, the challenger challenge that they got right now. I looked at the picture, I was like, damn, he's not in there. Like, Gunther should definitely be inside one of these qualifying matches. Like,
Yeah,
that
because
makes sense.
freaking Logan is, but I think that's because Jay and Gunther are going to have that singles match. I think that's why.
Okay, then they better have this match in Australia. Like, that would make sense. Like, but because fuck yeah, Gunther inside the fucking Elimination Chamber that'd be dope. Like,
That'd be fire. See him powerbomb or chop someone through the plastic, the glass. That
yeah, like
that'd be fire.
How many, just from like a storytelling element and piece, like how many more? We have 1 or 2 Mondays left before Elimination Chamber. It's on the 24th. It's at 2 a.m. Pacific time.
Damn, I don't know where my phone is. Let me see. Get the good old calendar. 1, 2, yeah, because it's on the 24th, right? So then, yeah, we have 2 more Mondays.
Okay. So they'll have to piece it together, because you already had essentially the first little war of words. So maybe this upcoming Monday.
Yeah, Jay will probably beat Ludwig or Giovanni or something. New Day will help.
You know how they build it up. You know how they get their shit off.
Well, actually, that just reminded me. There is a 3-way tag, if I remember correctly.
Because he came out for New Day.
Yeah, New Day.
So there's a 3-way tag with Jay and Kofi, and damn, well, I just forget that, but with New Day, and then Imperium as well. So,
okay, yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I think that's next week.
Yeah, they're gonna
start. It was Jumpin' Jay, and then New Day came out, and that's probably gonna set up the little, the trios tag.
And then after that, we get a Shinsuke promo, which was we love Shinsuke promos.
Anime super villain,
man, the best. And then after that, we got a women's tag, which was good. That was a good match as well. I don't remember the participants because I did not write that name down. But
yeah, it's Kabuki Warriors versus Katana.
Oh yeah, it was a rematch.
Oh yeah,
rematch.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was a good match.
Who's challenging the Kabuki Warriors? Like, who are they setting up for that?
They're not. They haven't set up anyone for it yet, and that it goes into the problem with the women's division or women's tag division that we kind of talked about last week. But we need to, just like the way that we're establishing the men's tag, we need to start establishing the women's tag. And it's just one of those things. Like, the roster's thick. Everyone has their favorites. We all want people to win their belts and all this other stuff. We all have our favorites, but there's some people who have the job. There's some people who have to be in a tag team for a minute. And they just need to establish that, like Shotzi and Meacham, they're not doing that much. I'm not saying they should be together. I'm just saying those are 2 names. Like, you got the goth spooky girls. I mean, they just lost a couple weeks ago, but they can come back.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Isladon and Alba Fire, spooky girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They just gotta. Because honestly, they're probably going to sit on these titles, as most women tags sit on the titles for a bit, just so that we can get the cool image of.
That shit is so ass.
We just got to establish that. But
because they're 2 talented individuals. Asuka and Kairi Sane are just phenomenal talent.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's let's get them rivalries and matches and stuff like that. Like, the whole idea of coming out with EO and everybody has gold is tight. I will give you that, but it's not tight when you have nobody to go up against.
They need some people to kick in the head, and honestly, send them the whole point of the tag was so that it could be at multiple shows. Send them to NXT for a week, pop a rating, send them to SmackDown, or they're already on SmackDown. but they were on Raw this week. But yeah, they need people to fight, and we need like it needs to be. They can't just be fighting EDM ladies every week. It's going to get boring. So
Question.
yeah.
Who eliminated Kyrie and Oscar out of the Rumble? Because I can't remember.
No, because Kyrie had the botch spot where like I can't remember.
She
She's supposed
shouldn't have failed, but
yeah.
And then Asuka was eliminated like right after.
Right after her.
Right.
I
so
don't
who?
know.
Yeah. So I think. I think that's how you could tie in who's going to challenge them. You could play off of that. It wasn't supposed to be intentional, probably, but you could play off of that.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. Like we've already talked about it. They need to just get more women in there and just whoever it is, just have them build chemistry and identity. Like we talked about it, where Piper had the horns or the theme music was like similar to Valhalla's, and it's like, bro, who the fuck is coming out? Like, we need identity, and I think it's kind of fucked up because we're kind of overlooking that, like Chance, they have that, like Katana and Chance, like that's Casey Carter, like that's what they have. Like they have an identity. Why is it not connecting?
Because it's kind of it's similar to when I was talking about with the Hurt Profits. It's like they're just niggas in suits. As far as they're just rave girls. What is that? They're just like, we like to dance, we like to have fun, and we'll do some cool moves. That's like it's hard for me. And I like seeing I like seeing crazy flips and shit, but I can't. I'm not super. I don't know. It's not. That's why I feel like it's not connecting, because yeah, they have a gimmick, but they don't have a character to that gimmick.
Do we need is it more attitude? Do you want them to be like more ruthless, or is it just the EDM bright color thing just doesn't do it for you?
No, I'm fine with the EDM bright color. They seem. Every time they talk, I feel like they're going to sell me some Sephora. Like I need them. I need. I just need. I don't know. I feel like if I hung out with them in person, they're probably super fucking cool. It needs to. I don't. It's not translating with their character, but I don't know. It's personality. I'm just not seeing. I guess personality for me. I don't know about what everybody else or the crowd or anything. I mean, they're not. It's not like they're being booed or anything. They get reactions. So
they're getting reactions. They have like a great chemistry. It's just
and a good finisher. It might take some more time, honestly, because like even in NXT, they were kind of just like they were there. Like people didn't dislike them, but people also didn't like. They were just neutral, and I feel like they're going to be neutral for a while until I don't know. We see one of them really get punched in the mouth and see how they react. Maybe they need to tangle with Becky or Bailey or someone to bring this personality out of these two ladies.
Okay,
they're gonna be here for a while. It'll probably get over weekly, just like how DIY has been the last month.
And that could be the case too. It could be a slow burn. I think you see them more.
Yeah, I think you just got to get the world used to seeing these rave girls and hopefully they just add a little something to it. Like, are we going to see a video package of them in a club every week? Just dancing in circles, like I don't know.
It was funny. That was funny. I will give you that. Yeah. I think from there we got the Sammy promo, right, where Sammy's just trying to find his place in season or before preseason before WrestleMania.
Great promo. Officially puts him he's finally in the heavyweight picture or the top card. He's no longer mid carder, and I love how they did that. Yeah.
You think Sammy is ready for the main card role and talent wise?
A year ago at Elimination Chamber, he was fighting Roman. He's ready, and the fact that we'll see what happens on SmackDown, but I feel like that's a slow burn. They're trying to make him his main character, one of his most character traits, like in NXT, like he's always been the underdog. So they're going to make him the underdog. He's probably going to get his ass whooped a couple more months. But
the thing with Sammy that kind of I don't know is that from what I've seen and how they present him is that he's always carried by a much cooler factor. Like KO is the cool factor out of KO and Sammy. You're watching for the stunners and the buckle bombs and stuff like that. the bloodline angle was purely bloodline. You wanted to see him get back at Roman because like he was the bully and he's getting bullied in that situation. I don't know if Sammy can carry that kind of momentum or generate that kind of momentum by himself. At least I haven't seen it.
He still
I
gets
think he can.
he still gets pops when he comes out, but it's definitely not the same as last year when he was a more uh, relatable character. I think now he's kind of sympathetic in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and they're gonna play on that, and then in a couple months, he's still over like Rover, but in a couple months, Sammy's gonna get it. He'll probably have. Actually, I don't want to predict when he'll get a title, but
And that's what I'm saying.
let's say they do. Let's say they do Drew and Seth, and Drew does beat Seth.
Yep.
Sammy's
I
going
was
to be the
thinking
one to
that.
take. Sammy's going to be the one to take it from Drew if
Mhm.
that happens,
Yep.
Ooh,
unless
Because
Damian cashes
because
in.
that's tough.
well,
I don't know.
Because Sammy's never beat Drew. They're playing on that story, just
mhm.
like they're playing on Cody, or Seth never beat Cody. They're playing on the story. It's just a slope, like those little. Yeah, it's a seed, and it's going to grow, and like we'll remember this conversation in like a half a year, and like boom, like we now the story's finally grown. It's cooking.
Isn't isn't Money in the Bank in London this year? Isn't something in London this year?
I
There
think
is.
we.
Hold on. Let me double check that.
Yeah.
They are definitely doing a show in the UK. Money in the Bank in London. Let's see. Let's see location.
Him holding the briefcase, that would be very entertaining, honestly.
I think, and I just mean in terms of like obviously, um, Cardiff, Wales, and the UK aren't the same place,
Money in
but
the Bank is in Canada this year. Toronto.
Oh yeah, he's winning it. Yep, yep,
It is
yep.
in
DT, you onto
Toronto.
something, baby? Yeah, yeah. Canadian zone. Let's go. They might have Drake perform.
Fucking shit, man. That's funny.
All right.
Is
So then, oh no, go ahead.
well, like now we're like now the Canada side of Money in the Bank has me like long term booking, and I'm
Mhm.
thinking like somebody winning something over there. Somebody gonna either win or somebody's cashing in something over in Canada, and I don't know what it is. Like whether that's like KO finally getting off Logan in Canada, which would be kind of cool, or Sammy winning Money in the Bank. Something's gonna happen for sure.
Yeah, something's gonna happen for sure. Um, all right, and then in Raw we got the main event, the bull rope match with Cody and Shinsuke.
The bull rope match, I thought it was a good match. Uh, I love the idea of giving like premium live event matches, just on regular Monday Night Raws.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Like you're keeping me invested in the rivalry. However, they did it in Portland with the street fight.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing this angle with Shinsuke and Cody like back and forth like so many times?
Yeah, I feel like they just needed to do something based off of what happened last week with Cody's announcement and The Rock coming out. Hopefully, this is the last time they face for a while. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they needed to do something because Seth's still hurt, and then did Drew fight
I guess that
loss? Yeah, I don't know.
Drew.
They just need. I don't know. They needed a match of something to sell some tickets. I guess. I don't know.
What Drew did have his qualifier match. No, he didn't. He had that on.
It was the
Wait,
SmackDown. No, he had it on
okay, it was
SmackDown.
SmackDown. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because
I mean,
him and Sammy.
you could
I
be
think.
on something to where like
Or no.
Seth is injured, so you don't have your main event with Seth. Like you usually can depend on. At that point in time, Cody was undecided on what the fuck he was doing, so you kind of needed a filler to kind of hold everybody over until they figured out like their decision making and shit like that.
Yeah, and it was a special stipulation, so yeah, it keeps. So you
Yeah,
got main event players, PLE candidates, big. Yeah, it's a big match feel sort of, and then also it's a stipulation, so it's not just a random normal match, and you know
it's
you get
funny
to
because I
see
really
somebody get hit
like
with a
Cody.
belt.
I like Cody. I just want Cody to be like a motivated Cody. Like when Cody get angry, it's like it's a different level, and I kind of like I want to see that level of him. If you get it off of Roman, like let me see you like angry Cody. Don't give me kissing babies, Cody. I need to see. You're not gonna like this from me. You're not gonna like what I say here, and it's not on purpose. But it's like I need to see the Mox version of Cody. I need to see some blood or something. Let me see some aggression
Hey,
from
yo.
Cody.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you did that on purpose, but if we could segue into the press conference, because I feel like we do get some of that angry Cody.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's talk about the press conference.
Yeah. Do you want to or do you want to do a music break, or you want to get
No. Let's get through this. We'll do a
all
music
right,
break
cool.
after.
All right. So I mean, yeah. So the press conference, I don't want to say it was a one conference show, but by the end of it, it definitely came like a one man show, or not one man, but
One segment show.
one segment show almost. I will like to say, because Bailey wasn't there. Seth was there, Rock was there, Cody was there. We got Rhea versus Becky on a face off, and then Becky said some fire shit saying, mommy's gonna learn how to be a bottom. I got the timeline nice and horny.
I hate it, bro. I hate it.
I ain't gonna lie, I was pulling my collar a little bit, trying to let somebody heat out.
This nigga's tripping, man. Bugging, man. What the fuck?
I was like, this is the man they was talking about. No, I'm just
Oh, that's fucking funny. Let's talk about just the build up to Seth coming out, introing or asking for Cody to come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have one question before we dive into it. What is Seth's purpose here? Like, that man had, hey, first off, green suit, fire. That shit was fucking clean. But what are we doing here?
I think it was to build more to like what Cody's going to choose, because it seemed like it was going to be Rock and Roman. That part seemed like it was 100% innocent at that point in time, and I guess Seth was there because he's the other main champion, and I honestly have no idea, because there's a lot of time like during the PowerPoint, it's like, why he's just standing there? I don't know what's going on.
This shit is dog shit. Only because it's like, you would never have gotten Triple H intro and Batista after he had, what do you want Batista decision? Come on out here, Batista, and like have him like, nah, bro, like once again, come out and let's like figure this shit out day one. You either gonna come after me or you not. Like, I hate this because all I saw is just that like we don't have a spot for Cody right now, or not Cody, but Seth. We don't know what we're doing with them. We're gonna have him intro this whole storyline, because the fans already said we want Cody, so you already know publicly that they don't even want to see him get in the match or get in the ring with Seth. It's just like, I hate like what it's doing to like the visual like momentum for like Seth. Like, or am I tripping?
Honestly, go ahead.
No, please go. Actually,
I don't think it hurts Seth as much as people think. I think Seth is still gonna get, aside from that one SmackDown moment, Seth is still gonna get pops wherever he goes.
For sure.
We all gonna harmonize and sing a song.
Absolutely.
It don't matter what time of day it is, where you're at. I think they had to find a way, if they're pivoting from all the shit that they needed to pivot from, they had to find a way to give Cody some quote unquote backup in this situation, especially after they had to make like a quick hot adjustment from all the backlash that they were receiving. And you can just tell by the positioning of each individual on the stage once everyone was out. Like, it was clear that there was sides taken. It was clear that it was established, like it was heroes versus the villains kind of in that space. So I don't think it hurts Seth as much as a lot of people think, because you still have Drew gunning for him. So that's just my thought.
There's
on
still
it.
a story attached to him, so you're okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go
so
ahead.
So Rock comes out, says a bunch of jargon, and then proceeds to Okay, wait, real quick. Do we want to talk about the Pat McAfee stuff, or do you just want to skip over it? Because it seemed like he was turning heel, quote unquote, on the Pat McAfee show, and that's where he
The
came
Cody
up with
Crybabies.
the Cody
Oh yes,
Crybaby
yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
which all panned out because there's a lot of people online that didn't like the reception of last Friday, or the Friday when The Rock came out and took Cody's place supposedly. You have people like Dave LaGreca trying to make a rally in New York, and you have some people sending death threats to Ava and Sammy and The Rock and other people too. So then, yeah, he goes on Pat McAfee and he says a bunch of stuff, and it seems like, oh, we're getting Hollywood Rock back. Hollywood Rock is coming back. He's heel. So then, fast forward to the press conference, and our heel puts out a PowerPoint with a big ass tree on it.
Yo, that shit is
Um,
crazy.
with a big ass tree on it, and it's like there's only one real true royal family in wrestling,
You're
and
not
you
wrong.
get.
He not
I mean,
wrong.
yeah, no, not technically, because if you look at the tree, there's like 80,000 fucking names on there.
And them
Um,
boys wrestle.
Hey,
it's like,
sh- shout out to Rikishi. He got like a quarter of all the names.
I did.
man,
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna do
I mean, if you
that.
if you guys remember that one Rakishi song he had, oh man, fuck, what is it? I don't want to, I don't want to tangent. Okay, anyway, yeah. So he yeah. So we get the PowerPoint out, and so you see Rock and Roman, like they do like the like the handshake into the side hug or whatever. So it seems like, oh, are these niggas on good terms now? Because last time I checked, they had a face off. They're gonna fight. Um, Cody comes out and he says, "This is absolute bullshit."
It's also
And
true. We did get angry Cody. He was cussing. I did not. They bleeped it out, but I'm good at like reading mouths, and I was like, oh, this motherfucker actually cussing out here. Cool.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, and then he started cooking them up a little bit. He- like,
Yeah,
what does it
yeah.
matter?
Nah,
What does it
he
matter if
did what he did.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't deserve the ether beat, but
Nah,
he still was barring him up a little bit.
he was definitely barring him
Oh
up,
yeah,
and it's
Ether
funny
beat
because he's
them
like,
too.
your great grandfather would be ashamed of you. I was like, that's all right. We're back at Cody. Cody was cussing. Now you bring it right back down to hugging babies, Cody. Like, let me see, like, you come in and just go, like, and he did demand who he wanted to face. It was also kind of weird because in that same, like, segment, Roman talking about, I choose who I want to face. And I'm like, this is definitely not how that works.
Right,
But
And
and also because last week he did ask to fight Cody.
but
Essentially,
and
he's like, yeah, but Cody did was like, who? It doesn't matter who sits at the head of the table if none of y'all cooking for 2 years. That's a bar to beat.
that is a bar. You're right. That is a bar.
that deserves a flex bomb.
Yeah, that was
And
a
it's just
yeah.
like, I don't know. Yeah, okay. And I think this is where like Rock's going over the family tree and whatnot, and then he's like,
Mhm.
just showing you the bloodline of everybody here. Um, but in the same vein of Cody like talking about like, Roman's ancestors, that's when Rock steps up and is like, you're talking about my bloodline,
When you're talking
my
about,
family.
yeah, he was in his whole Dom Toretto.
I
Um,
goodness gracious.
Family's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, which is wild because you wanted to fight your nephew or cousin like a week ago. It just,
Well, so
I did. That's why I don't understand it, bro. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Last Friday, it's like the standoff between you two. It's like you were gonna fight your own blood, but because he said it, you want to. Is
yeah,
it different?
it,
but
it
he,
so honestly, the reason why I say that is because as toxic as this might sound, um, like that's kind of the family dynamic. Like if you got a crazy brother or whatever, or your brother did something, you could talk about it, right? Like if it's your brother. But then if somebody who has, what I'm saying, no connection to the family is talking about it, it's a different thing. It's a different
right.
thing. So
I can
you can
talk shit about
have
DT, but you can't talk shit about DT because I'll beat your ass. you know? Yeah. No, I feel it.
so
That makes
that
sense.
that's the play. That's the play that they're going with. Like, yeah, we wanted to battle for dominance and supremacy in our family, but then outside of that, it's like, hold on, nobody's going to come against our family, and that's why they try to do that whole little uh, uh, PowerPoint, the Word document PowerPoint with everybody on it to kind of put emphasis on that. Like, we built this company, and you're somebody who now you're trying to attack our family kind of deal. That's kind of how they tried to turn it.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, from that aspect, you're right. Cause
And
like if anybody talk crazy about somebody I knew, it's like, yo, like what's up? Like what we doing?
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you can't say what I say. But also they did they were pointing, or they were super emphasizing that he's a board member and he's abusing his power. It's kind of giving
Hmm.
authority vibes as well, which is like so then when Cody says what he said about, your guys' grandfathers would be disappointed, The Rock slaps him, and then Seth goes off too. And he's like, "This is bullshit. Just because you're on the board doesn't mean you can run these things or do all this stuff." And then,
And
yeah,
the Rock responds, "Yes, yes, it does." Like there like, and that's the thing is like people weren't listening to a lot of the dialogues. Like Seth was like, he think he could do whatever the fuck he wants, like da da da, and The Rock was like, "Yes, I can." That's exactly what it means. So like it, everything is woven in. It's happening. It's they're fixing it. It's getting fixed. It's going in the
Oh,
right
we
direction.
just getting corporate rock. I see.
Yeah, yeah. It's
They're
a
playing that
corporate
angle.
rock. Yeah, yeah. See, yeah, everyone want Hollywood rock, but we about to get corporate rock. That's a rock we
Corporate
never
rock.
seen before,
and
and hopefully we don't see
then
it ever again, because you have Moana to film, and you have to record Moana too.
That's
Well, why?
crazy. Nah, that's
Why are you
funny.
here?
That's funny.
I'm being a
To
hater,
hate
but
with this man's accolades or like success. Don't you got a movie to go see? You know Moana was great. I need you to go film that. Like
yeah,
that's funny. I like
bro,
that.
you have to do live action soon, and they just announced number two the day of the
They
press
did.
conference.
They definitely did.
If you don't get in the
Hey,
recording
listen.
booth,
hey man, listen, you don't gotta stand to record. He gonna be all right.
yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. You can get a voice actor from anywhere.
That's
Yeah,
true. I mean, we're doing a pod the way we're doing a pod, so
It's
that's
true.
absolutely true. That's absolutely true. And then to finish the press conference out, Rock and Roman, they walk up together with Heyman, and it seems like Roman is filling in the young brother role. It seems like
Yeah.
now he's kind of following the Rock, which that can plant some seeds. Which I think eventually we will see them fight each other, but it seems like they're aligned right now, and Rock and Triple H, they don't have a stare off, but Rock says some words, and Triple's like, "You can't. That was out of line." He's like, "I'll smack the teeth out of his mouth if anyone talks about my family." And then
hmm
yeah, that was pretty much the end of the press conference. But how do you guys feel about seeing that send off, or not send off, but that walk of Roman and Rock and Paul seeming like, I mean,
It
they,
made me
yeah,
it made me accept that you might be right to where Roman doesn't necessarily have to have the belts for this rivalry to work. Cause like I'm watching Rock how Rock move, and I'm watching Roman. I'm like, whoa, damn, this doesn't have to be a title match, and this shit was still like pop off. Like this shit was still, be buzzing. However, I'm not a fan of him losing it right now, and I'll go on the record of saying that. Like I'm okay with like Roman continuing, like I said, until like SummerSlam. I just want to see him get the streak. That's
I
just
need
me.
just for the sake of me, I need you to just go ahead and repeat that just one more time.
Wait, what you mean? What you trying to set me up for? That's
No, no, no.
I
Yeah,
personally
yep.
don't think Roman should lose it at Mania.
I agree with you. I also will say I think, um, and we kind of talked about this. Me and Hero kind of talked about this the other night. But there were rumors that there might be a MSG location for a PLE
Hmm.
uh, coming up, and if that is the case, Cody has to lose at WrestleMania to Roman, and the reason being is because MSG is where Dusty had the belt for the time that he did have it, before they took it away from him or whatever happened with that. So for Cody to be able to go to MSG, and actually secure the belt and win the belt there, I think that completes and finishes the story. And it doesn't have to be, for me, it doesn't have to be after the Hogan record. It could be a day before, it could be 2 days before. If that's what's going to happen, if they do a PLE at MSG and it's 2 days before he breaks the record, Cody needs to win the belt if we're truly talking about finishing the story.
I see. So
Um,
you're more so like the historical context for Cody and Dusty it would make more sense for him to do it at the MSG like PLE.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure, 100%.
I'm cool with that.
But that's
Uh,
if they're gonna have it there.
yeah, that like if that is the story, if that was like if that pitch happens, I will be fine with it. If that doesn't happen, will completely disagree with you guys, and I need Roman to drop that shit at
He's
Mania.
gonna drop it. It would just. Oh, you said Mania.
Yeah,
Well,
because if they don't do the Madison Square Garden thing, then Cody, you can't make like
You waste momentum.
you waste
I know what
momentum.
you mean.
You look him look weak again. It's possibly like character damaging, and
Yeah, I
also
see. I know what you mean.
you took him from AEW 2 years ago. This
mhm.
like you guys been building like this has been on the crock pot. If we're talking about things that have been on a crock pot, it's been this as well. And then just to prolong it for another 80 days, just to say F Hogan, I mean, like, who's to say? Like, maybe Triple H is a Hogan fan. Who's to say he wants that record broken? You know, or I don't know. I'm gonna let it play out because just the fantasy booking kind of stresses me out because I really want this title reign to end, and it's not because I'm bored of it per se, but also I just I want something different. But
Yeah, I
It,
can.
but
But
I'm willing to let it play out.
I
Absolutely.
think like for first off, whether Roman drops it or he doesn't, or whatever the hell happens at Mania, I'm cool with it. I'm gonna be a fan of it regardless. Um, and even if he does drop it at Mania, you still win 1,000+ with it. So like that's still
mhm.
a fucking feat that nobody's fucking gonna do. Like we're not gonna
Greatest
see that
champion in the
ever
modern
again.
era.
Like
Mhm.
Greatest champion in the modern
so, regardless of whatever happens, you're already solidified as a legend. First off, um, I do agree with you that like it will waste momentum because you have somebody who won back to back rumbles and did not succeed. Like that's what are we doing here?
S- I have pushback, and the reason I have pushback is if if you go back to like the beginning of, we'll just call it the the debacle for when they tried to insert Rock, or Rock inserted itself, and there was that backlash from the wrestling community. There was so much backlash that they had to respond to it. So is it actually WWE's fault, or is it the hunger of the fans wanting to see him supposedly finish the story at WrestleMania that pushed Cody back into a position where he could potentially lose again to Roman? I think
Right.
that's something. I think that's something to think about. Like
I
people
think like they
wanting.
already had a story in play. Like let them have their story. Let them finish it out. But like
Mhm.
because the fans are so mad at everything, like you kind of have to respond to kind of like quiet them down. But eventually, whatever they had planned is probably still gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm on. See, yeah, I was talking to David last night or DT. Sorry, I'm not fully convinced. Like, there's a part of me that's not convinced. Like, I don't know. I don't know if this was a work or not. Like last week, I said it was a work. Honestly, I think they kind of just fumbled. I think this was probably the plan the entire time. Because again, The Rock was like a long gamer. He said that before the press conference started. He said it the week before when he was on ESPN. He likes the long game. I feel like this was the plan the whole time, and they just did not execute it right on that SmackDown a couple weeks ago. But to piggyback off of what you were just saying is, granted, the fans' reaction shouldn't have been the way that it was, but it does give nod to WWE for getting everyone worked up. But the reason why so many people are worked up is because again, this has been over 2 years ever since they re-signed Cody. Like this, so fans of Cody are just fans
Mhm.
of the story, or just fans of the story in general. Have been waiting for 2 years for it, and to keep delaying it, it's like if it's like when you're playing Spider-Man and before you beat the final Venom fight, they're like, wait, hold on, we got this DLC you absolutely have to play before you even do this Venom fight. You can't even play the Venom fight until you download this DLC. That would make me mad. I mean, but I think we should let it play out. And I mean, none of us are wrong in our crafting. It's just
Nah, this is the best part. I love this part. It's just
yeah.
like we're just talking it out. Like this is the most fun ever. Just to sit here and just get these ideas off because at the end of the day, like we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, but we all gonna have our opinions on it, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I think. I
Go ahead,
think
BG.
once Cody gets the belt, he's gonna have it for a really long time. I don't think as long as Roman, because then it devalues the last 3 or 4 years. But I think the moment that he wins, he's gonna have that belt for a while. So for people who are quote unquote tired of like waiting or it's Cody's moment now, like he's gonna have a reign, no pun intended, for a hot minute.
Nah,
Um,
nah,
that's what I think.
nah.
Maybe
It's gonna
unless
happen.
they make Damien cash in.
Look, we're gonna get
If
that
Damian
Netflix
cash in,
deal,
he
that
gonna get
first Raw on
flipped.
Netflix. Brock about to come out and pin him. 10 seconds.
Well, Cody is black, so I wouldn't be surprised if they suck Brock Lesnar on him just to take his title. All right. Well, yeah, that was Raw.
Yeah, that was Raw. We're gonna do a quick little audio break real quick, and then when we come back, I'll go over like AEW, SmackDown, and we'll get out of here.
All
Sound
right.
good?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have y'all tune in real quick to some tunes. This one is brand new. I just created this one like actually today. If you're listening to podcasts on Monday, 2 days ago. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this. We'll be right back.
What's up is I heard you was getting your ass kicked out there in Hong Kong, brother. What? That's right. I'ma whoop your ass. And then I'ma whoop your ass. Get it?
Welcome back. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the tunes. We might get a little bit more creative. I gotta go pick up some records to start more like vinyl sampling and whatnot. Hopefully, you might hear some different vibes next week. We'll see. It just depends on how I feel. I can't predict anything. Inspiration comes how inspiration comes.
Card is always subject to change.
No, 1,000%. 1,000%. There is no fantasy book in these beats. It's whatever happens. happens.
Word.
Go ahead. It's my bad.
All right. No, so I was gonna ask, do you just want to get right into it with SmackDown, or do you want to do
Let me
AEW?
go. Let's go Dynamite, and then we'll go SmackDown.
All right. Sounds good.
This is Dynamite is where my match of the week is at.
Okay.
This was a good show. Like the card was great. The matches themselves, like there's a couple matches that I wasn't really like. I didn't think I was gonna be interested in. I thought I had it figured out. I thought I predicted like outcomes and stuff, and that wasn't the case. First match is Hangman Swerve. It's a 30-minute draw,
Right.
which leads into them doing the triple threat at Revolution. One thing AEW knows how to do is a goddamn draw. They will they they know how to do one of them, and they do them
Yeah.
well. Because it's just wrestling throughout the entire match. Like
Mm.
it's a whole bunch of spots. It distracts you that like they even have time limits. At first, when I seen, I thought this was some bullshit. Like the first draw they gave me, I was like, bro, who the fuck has a draw? But then I started watching, and then like they did the Kenny Daniel one, and that's the one that hooked me. Like the Kenny Omega versus
Daniel Brown
Brian
or Brian Danielson.
Danielson was a fucking flame. That was a match for sure.
Yeah. Thought I had
I
the whole
know.
card on my phone.
You know what's funny is that like a lot of the feedback I got from episode 2 was, "Hey, why your man hate Swerve?"
Hey man, it's Black History Month. I'm a keep it. I'm gonna keep it chill.
Yeah, so many, bro. So many messages like, "Hey, what he got against Swerve, man? Like, what the fuck?" And I was like, "Hey, I don't know, man." It was funny to me. It was nobody's ever mad. It was all comedy. It was hella fucking funny though.
Well, he can't dress and he don't like black people, so I don't.
He doubles down, people. He doubles down.
I'm gonna say that
I
for after
respect
February.
it. I respect it.
But yeah, we talked about it last week, and yeah, so yeah, it seems like they're doing the triple threat route, and
Mhm.
is Hangman turning? Because it seems like the mustache is
Yeah,
making him a little evil, or
yeah.
at least a little more
You,
aggressive. Which I don't know how you
you,
can get more aggressive than drinking a nigga's blood, but
he's playing like the I won. You can't do nothing about it. Nah, 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 nah. Like just being an asshole about it. And
yeah,
I like it. I like the non heroic version of like Hangman. Like just be like a heel version of him. Like I'm cool with that. I think this match was going to be great. I think Revolution is going to set up a great triple threat. Like I I love the buckshot lariat. That's one of like my favorite moves I've seen. I've seen like growing up, we've seen clotheslines, we've seen clothesline in hell, like we've
yeah,
seen JBL knock people's heads off with it.
man.
Uh, you throw in a flip, and I just lost everything. A flip into a clothesline, that was it for me.
No, yeah,
Um,
it's a good move. Yeah, that was I'm not gonna say Logan does it better, or nothing, because that's rude. But it's a good move, and it was my first time ever seeing someone did that, and it doesn't look too unconventional. Because there's certain moves like it's like, man, I know it's a scripted show, and I know it's fake fighting or whatever, but it's like
619,
I'm not gonna sit here for 30 seconds as you set up for a spot.
619.
Yeah, 619. It's there's weird ones like that. I mean, at least with the 619, you could be like, oh, he hit his neck on the rope, so he's a little dazed. But there's
It's not them hitting their neck. It's the way they fall for the 619. That's what be
yeah.
funny to me.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you just trip and stumble, and
Yeah,
um,
into the middle rope perfectly.
you know. But yeah, draw.
Uh,
Okay, so okay, no, never mind. I was going to ask, but I feel like we went into that last week with the fantasy booking. But it is confirmed that we're getting this triple threat. So
Yeah, the triple threats definitely happened. Joe cuts a promo. He cuts amazing promo. I think Joe might be top fives like on the mic. Like Samoa Joe, he knows how to. That sounds crazy. Oh, mad pause right here. He knows how to work the mic. Okay, the man is good with his promos.
facts.
Um, it leads into there's like a Deanna Purrazzo versus Red Velvet. I'm glad I'm seeing more Deanna Purrazzo. Like I didn't watch TNA, so I'm not really familiar with like the technical style that she has, but I like it. I think that the setup for her and Tony Storm is also gonna be a good match. Because they're playing that friends angle. And you always
Yeah,
know like the matches where like you're my best friend, like you get some of the best like shit. Uh Still ain't seen nothing peak like, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, the whole "I love you" thing, right? We ain't seen
right.
nothing like that. But like I will be definitely tuning in to kind of like watch how like they break down this women's match, and also where does Mercedes fit into this, because she's jumping straight into it. Like they're not about to simmer this. Like she's gonna get, it's probably gonna be Mercedes Diana. Like that's probably what we're gonna Double or Nothing in Vegas, maybe. Like I don't know when Double or Nothing is, but I could see that happening for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, assuming they don't send her to the Shadow Realm, aka ROH, then yeah, Deanna, because
Absolutely not.
Deanna's really good. She's one of those people that, yeah, she was in NXT. And she went to TNA, and then she completely reinvented herself, and she was holding TNA down for the longest time. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they're on the track to building this division. 'Cause I was giving the women's division, flack last week, and I'm not the only person because I love women's wrestling. And that's not just no, like I love wrestling, and I want everyone to get their shit in. Tags, women division, all the divisions. And I
I
just feel like they
think
don't care about it as much, but I think they're on the right track, especially with the
I'm gonna go on
Mercedes signing.
record. I'm gonna go on record real quick, and I could be far fetched and I could be shooting, but I feel that like AEW is setting themselves up to where they're trying to get as many good women as possible, and they're gonna do a women's pay per view similar to like the evolution that we saw in WWE. But I think they're gonna make it like annual. I think they're gonna try to do it, and I think they have the roster to do it and the connections to do it as well. Like we talked about it earlier with like the Stardom losing like their guy, and now that kind of
Mhm.
opens up like he has a working relationship with Stardom now because the main guy is not there anymore. So we're gonna start seeing a lot more of like that. He's already in partner. They're already in partnership with CMLL, and we haven't seen any of the women wrestlers over in CMLL. So we're gonna see like a semi boom. At least I would predict that you're gonna see a semi boom of like all these women talent like having their matches in AEW.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here for it.
Uh,
I'm here for it. I'm trying to
from
find
there
the
we got
match
a
card right now.
you definitely send it to me. I think it's in the it should be in our chat.
It was, yeah, I
Um
did, and I couldn't find it, but now I'm on AEW's website, so I can.
there was a trios match with the Blackpool Combat Club against some of the luchadors for CMLL.
Hmm.
This match is dope. I always
I bet.
recommend if there's one match you can watch, this match is the one that I would definitely recommend. Um it's their first time as a trios, which I didn't even know. Like I definitely thought they would have used this a long time ago to bring in some kind of money or some kind of draw. But it's the first time where it's Mox, it's Daniel, it's Claudio, and like I really like it for the way Claudio looks. Like we saw Cesaro. Cesaro was dope. The
Hmm.
bar was solid. Um, but I think just the individualness of like making him look like not only is he the strongest wrestler we've seen, but he's actually showing it. Like Cesaro's always been fucking strong. Like,
Yeah,
and now he's able to like be this like Superman kind of like esque like wrestler, and to see that translate through like AEW or just in this match in particular, I thought that was kind of dope. Like he's out here like choke slamming and like bombing people and shit. Like it's fucking crazy. Like, I never got to see him really unleash his strength besides him spinning people around, which he still does today. And I love the spin gimmick. It's cool.
yeah. No, I'm
Um,
here for it.
but now like he's actually able to like power slam and shit like that, which is kind of fucking cool. Uh, there was also a talent in here by the name of Dorada, and there's a moment where he has one of the sickest hurricanranas I've ever fucking seen. Like the luchador aspect, like these dudes are legit. Like
Yeah,
I don't know, like you gotta like people listening, like check out this match. Like it was a really good match.
wait. I'm sorry. I must admit. Wait, was this the match of the night for you, or the week, or was it the Hangman Swerve one, or did you not get to it
Nah,
yet?
no. I didn't get
Okay,
to it yet, but
my
it
bad.
is the Blackpool Combat Club match.
Okay, so it is this match.
There
Gotcha.
is
Okay.
there's a secret though, right? This
Okay.
was the match of the week, but there's actually two. There's
Okay.
actually two,
All
and
right.
when we get out of SmackDown, I'll let you know what the second one is because that shit was fucking crazy too.
All right. Sounds good.
Um,
So
I
then it
didn't like
seems
the
like.
finish of the. Go ahead, my bad.
Oh no, Matt. No, finish the match. I was gonna go into the next part. No, finish it.
Uh, I didn't like the finish of the Blackpool Combat Club trios, but the overall match was fire, and I can look past a finish I don't like if the
Hmm.
overall match was good. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No. No. I totally agree. Sometimes a bad finish can make like the match have some stank on it, but the match was good, and yeah, and honestly, they're probably gonna run it back. It seems like. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's weird that you don't see this. I mean, granted, Blackpool Combat Club is like 4 members, And obviously, these are the three best members. No disrespect to Yuta, but yeah, it's odd that you don't see this. Yeah, them working this style often. And like honestly, I'm surprised they haven't even held the trios titles yet. I wouldn't be
That's what
surprised
that
if
was crazy to me.
yeah,
I
I
was
wouldn't be
like,
surprised if they
they,
do that before Daniel retires.
yeah, they're gonna get it at some point. Because there's too many like fantasy bookings with that. You know, BCC, House of Black, BCC, uh, Bullet Club Gold, fucking the Acclaim with Billy Gunn. Like, there's a lot of matches that they could definitely do for like titles and whatnot.
Bang
Uh,
bang scissor gang,
Bang Bang Scissor Gang. I'm gonna get that
scissor
shirt.
me daddy.
But every time I think about getting shirts like that, I think about the public perception. Like, what's this gonna look like if I walk in Safeway with this shirt on? Like,
Yeah, so when AEW came here last year, I got me a Scissor Me Daddy shirt, and I wore it I wore that for my 32nd birthday, and I was at Dave and Buster's, and I got stares, but I was like, it's my birthday, I don't care. The Acclaimed are my favorite at the moment, like they were my favorite thing in AEW at the time, and I was like, yes, Scissor Me
uh,
Daddy, and I'm like, I was.
just throwing them out, throwing the
I was
scissors out.
throwing it. Yeah, I was scissor me,
That's
dad.
funny,
You
man.
and I love that shirt. I don't wear it often, but hey, I
Because
mean,
it looks crazy, but it's like you have to know, and the ones who know it,
yeah,
like, let's say you do go out and somebody recognizes the shirt, it makes it worth it. That's the
yeah,
part that's like, oh yeah, he knows, cool.
yeah.
Um,
So
the
after
next
that,
one, go ahead.
oh, I was
It's
gonna say, Chuck Taylor gets attacked in the background by the Undisputed Kingdom,
yeah.
and
If
I
I'm
don't know
being
where they're
completely
going
honest,
with that.
I'm the Undisputed Kingdom. Adam Cole, it's wearing on me. I didn't realize that like MJF was the key factor in this and making this all work. Um, but he was,
Yeah,
and I need something to happen, and maybe it would be a lot different if Cole was able to wrestle. Because right now it's just like
it
it's
w- it would be a lot better if Cole was able to wrestle, and then
absolutely.
I don't know how serious the injury was to Wardlow, but like he was the other worker because honestly, like no disrespect to the other two members, they're not like
Yeah,
they're
go
not
yeah,
they're not on a Kyle they're not a Kyle O'Reilly or a Roddy like I
Roderick.
mean yeah Roderick like I'm sorry like Maria Kanellis and her husband like I like them personally but in ring wise bro no I'm sorry you're not like it's not going to you're not going to get the faction over if you're sending out the scrubs to do the work and it's because Cole is hurt and then it seems Warlow might be hurt yeah it's just yeah I don't know
It is it is a very interesting move to make, Cole the ringleader of the group and he can't wrestle because you're heavily like dependent on the rest of the group to do like the action to get this group to work.
right and if the rest of the
And
group isn't interesting then it's not then it just becomes stale because the rest of the group isn't that interesting
right.
besides Roderick
Yep. Yep.
like
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and yeah but yeah after that which we did talk about but TK gives his major announcement.
Major announcement. Big business in 5 weeks in Boston. It's Monet time. Like we talked about earlier, just excited to see her get back to work. I'm excited to see like where it picks up at, because we
Yeah,
also got to remember that she had a match with Willow. Like Willow took her belt from her, I believe,
yeah,
due to her being injured in that match. But like there's history there. So you come back and you beef with Willow. Maybe you come back or you get into the title picture. I don't exactly know how the meeting between like her and Soraya is gonna go, because there's also like semi story complications with that as well. So there's a lot of
hmm
what ifs. There's a lot of what
yeah.
ifs for sure. Uh,
Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard, and obviously, like I mean, like you essentially you want to put her straight to the main title, and I'm sure that's in her damn contract or something.
somewhere, yeah,
Um, but Tony Storm is so over right now. I don't
over.
I don't know. Like I feel like it might be a detriment to either one of them if you instantly book that match and instantly have Tony lose, because there's gonna be the people who have been writing for her this whole time, and it's like AEW, and it's like, oh, you get this other WWE hire, and now you just instantly give them the belt. I can see people being sour about that, depending
For
on
sure.
how fickle they are. And and then Tony's over, and then after you do that, what does Tony do? You just put her to the TBS, or maybe you give Mercedes the TBS, because I mean, Julia Hart's cool, but she ain't drawing like a Tony or a Mercedes would per se. And
And I just think that's just based on like, stop putting her over here on this show and put her on this show over here. Like, I think this second week I haven't seen Julia Hart on Dynamite. Like, she might be on Collision, which is the Saturday show, and like that's where like their second main show is at.
yeah,
But like we need to have that, like, those groups be interchangeable. Maybe throw Tony on Saturdays, which I think this Saturday she actually is wrestling. But like we need to get the TBS champion some more like spotlight for sure.
yeah. And I mean, that was the problem with Jade. It's like, you're the TBS champion, but
Yep.
you're never on TBS.
Yep.
What? Like, it's like you're the TNT champion, but you don't wrestle on TNT. That makes no sense. It's just it's just small things like that.
I also don't want him to overlook the AEW original talent, because
Yeah,
that was the reason that got me into AEW, was seeing people who were not the people I was seeing before. It was cool to see,
right.
oh damn, like somebody came over, but like I was more interested in Nyla. I'm more interested in the Jade, Rio.
Which I do not remember the last time we've seen Rio. And then we have Sheeta, and then
Sheeta is like the dopest thing to me. Like
and Statlander, she's good in the
Statlander, dope.
ring. She's she's good in the ring.
Thunder
And then
Rosa, like, you want to talk about somebody who won me over? Thunder Rosa was like the first like AEW figure I copped, and I was like, I need to like get that.
and then you still got Britt in the background doing dinner work,
Yeah.
and whenever she's ready to come back, like, I mean,
It's a stacked division. You just gotta book it properly,
yeah, it can be a stack. On paper, it sounds good, but just based off a history of the last couple of years of how he looks the women,
Tony,
it's very questionable. I'm going to be hopeful though. I'm not going to
his
shit.
women's division is the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of potential.
Oh man,
A lot of potential.
I would say maybe the Clippers.
We can go with that too. A lot of potential. Like a lot of potential, yo.
Y'all gonna do something. Y'all can do something, but you guys never do anything.
You never, yeah. Hey, I don't want that to be the case at AEW. I want y'all to like succeed. I want to see the women like do really well. I do like their roster. We
absolutely.
have Konosuke versus Jericho.
Yeah, Takashita, who he is a stud, and maybe he needs to be in the TNT picture or something, because he's like a 6'5" Japanese fucking he's gorgeous, he's cool, and like he has a good moveset. What are we doing here? Why this Jericho Don Callis feud, which Kenny Omega was a part of at some point, this has been going on for like what feels like 4 or 5 months.
Now, when I told you that there was a match on here that I was like, I wasn't too a fan of the match card, it was this match. Just because I was like, man, what is Jericho doing? Like, why do Konosuke is fucking solid. Like, he shouldn't really be here. What the hell is going on? In my notes, I have, it says, where is it at? Konosuke has a lot of talent and crazy potential. However, I'm not invested in his feud with Jericho. ... Psych. This man had Jericho tap out in the walls. Like,
yeah, that's great.
The finish was crazy in this match. I didn't think Jericho was gonna put him over, and Jericho put him over, and he tapped out to his own finisher. I have never seen anybody make Jericho tap out to the walls. Like, what kind of like blessing, or not blessing, but just kind of like push that is. Like, you're gonna put me in my finisher, and I will tap out. Like, that's solid, yo.
Yeah, it's solid. They just need to, they just can't fumble it after this. And hopefully the feud is over. I mean, it doesn't seem like it is, but it needs to be.
And the thing is, I think, like you said, Kenny was definitely a huge part of this feud. Like, it was probably leading to like another Kenny Konosuke match anyway. Like,
yeah, and because like even the Bucks were a part of it at some point, and then like. Yeah. There's been this has been going on for so long. It feels like Sammy's a part of it. He came back, which we just they gotta do something. They gotta do something. They gotta push this man. Otherwise, they're
Yeah.
gonna fumble. They're gonna fumble the momentum, similar to like the Wardlow momentum when he had it. Granted, MJF was
A
honestly
lot of
kind of a
momentum. Like there's a
yeah,
lot of momentum that AEW does fumble. Like
yeah. Like they acclaim like that year when I bought the shirt. They were the most over tag team in damn near
hottest thing.
every company. Damn near like they were
Yeah.
like I bought a Sesame Daddy shirt. That is so weird for me to do, but I was like, yes, they were over as fuck. And then
You couldn't deny it.
yeah, and then 2 months after that, they like lost it to FTR, and then they were just in limbo again until like now finally. But like they're like, yeah, they just like squandered all that. Like,
They squander
just,
a lot of hype for sure. Like one of my favorite wrestlers is Malachi Black. And
yeah,
I need to see more Malachi Black singles runs.
man,
He should have been a champion a long time ago. He should have been a champion. He was ever kicking Cody in the head. There's been so much that I've seen from him. I want him to have it. Like
yeah,
what's the hold up on that?
man,
That's a whole nother story.
yeah, it is a whole nother story because DT didn't say it, but one of the first matches I showed him when he got back, I showed him a bunch of NXT matches. So I mean, I showed him some Finn, but one of the first matches I showed him was Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream, and then a Ricochet match, and it's like I'm a huge Malachi Black, Aleister Black fan. I saw him; he was in Prestige Wrestling a couple years ago while he was signed to AEW, and like he came over, he wrestled. It was the main event. He's phenomenal talent, and he has a cool ass look, and he can talk.
Yes.
And it's like,
cool.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Do something. See somebody kick the fuck out of somebody. Do like 6'5" or something like that. He looks like he's 6'5". He could be smaller, but like just out there just stretching people out. Pause. That sounds crazy.
The Black Mass or Fade to Black, man. It
was dope. It still is dope.
Yeah, and like his
brought over into AEW. He came with the same eye being fucked up. Because we're not mistaken. In WWE, he had the eye patch on. Came back to AEW or came to AEW, and his eye was still fucked up. You know how hard that is?
You know who gave him that eye injury, right?
Who gave him the eye injury?
He's a visionary. He's a revolutionary.
Oh, yeah.
And I just had to throw that out there because I'm a self-stan. But yeah, man, I love Malachi.
Love Malachi.
And Buddy, is it Buddy now? Yeah, or
Buddy Matthews, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Buddy Matthews is dope too. They have a lot of I like Buddy
Brody
Matthews being
cool.
used. Brody's dope. Whole team is fucking dope.
Yeah, it's
I
a
like
cool
the way
faction.
Buddy's being used in AEW more than WWE. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but like he was a lot like 205 Live. Like they put him in that realm. Seeing him get like the push to where he can wrestle anybody. Same thing with Pac. Like that dude's fucking dope. I would have never known. Side tangent though. We're getting off track here.
Yeah.
Last match of the night is Big Bill, Ricky Starks versus Sting and Darby. This was third on my list. There was two other matches higher than this that would have been match of the week, but this was definitely number 3. This was a hell of a good match because Sting was working his ass off. This man's 65. That's what it is? Like he's 60 plus, like working, bro. I made him my notes. I was like, yo, Sting working more than Roman. And he's 60-something years old.
Yeah, jumping off of shit.
Like
landing in tables every week. Damn near.
It's just dope to see that like he still loves the game. Like you still love to wrestle. You still love to be a part of it and whatnot. Big Bill is probably co-MVP. Had a lot of spots that he was really responsible for that I wasn't really like paying attention to like that, but he was carrying some of these Sting spots and he did a phenomenal job. Ricky had a great moment where he kind of like hesitated to take out Sting. It just showed a lot of like emotional like character growth inside the ring. It's funny because I think we had the group chat the Swerve message where he's saying like the storytelling is just different. Like we're not gonna do it on the mic and like promos or whatnot, but we'll do it in the ring. And I think that this match was definitely one of those ones where you're telling the story in the ring.
But yeah. Oh man. Okay. As far as I was gonna talk about Swerve again. I'm going to save this for the next month. Damn it.
Okay.
But yeah, there are some people in AEW, such as like a Bryan Danielson, and Adam Copeland, even in MJF. That they can. You can tell the story in the ring. Like, AEW, they don't need a bunch of people doing promos in the ring. Although they do need to start having their women do that because their women never cut promos except for like a Britt Baker. But you don't have to copy someone else's formula. That's what messed up the DCU. You know, you don't have to copy someone else's formula.
That's a great
But
example.
But there is some things that they could critique a little bit, and
For
like
sure.
doing 1,000 flips, and not selling something that then you're not like that's not telling a story. Like, but with like MJF and Hangman, or not MJF, with Swerve and Hangman, they were telling stories, and they're still getting their flip. They're still doing the flippy shit, but they're still also telling a story. And it's just they got to get majority of the roster like to do some of that,
To
just so
figure out
that
their way to do that, because not everybody can do flippy flips, but like you got to
Yeah.
figure out what's your way to tell the story in the ring, and we'll
just
see
tell
that.
a story. Yeah, and yeah, it's been getting better. So, but yeah, that was it, right? That was
It was a dope match. The ending was your favorite people. The EVPs came out in these ice white suits, and shit got bloody.
Yeah,
They
that's
was
what's up.
bashing people. Like, you know, it's definitely setting up the tag team match at Revolution, which is what we saw or what we like predicted. It's funny because you got corporate Rock, and now we got corporate EVPs, and that's just the angle that they're running with right now.
Did they
I think
just
it's gonna be a dope
attack
match.
Sting?
That was this Wednesday. Yeah.
No.
Wednesday,
I'm reading it. Did they? It doesn't say if they attacked the Big Bill and them though. Did they just
it was just Sting and Darby.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. They're gonna send Sting into retirement.
And I like that. I like the idea of like, because it's just good. They probably have the conversation with Sting, to where whatever the angle is, I'm gonna love it. But I think it'd be really dope to, hey, let us put you out. It's gonna generate way more heat than like Sting and Darby winning against the Young Bucks versus you hate them even more because they sent Sting out. Like, let's Sting leaving a stretcher or some shit. That'd be fucking crazy. Not gonna happen, but it'd be fucking nuts.
I mean, it could. Like we talked about, like usually in retirement matches or final matches, usually you put someone over. You don't usually win your final match. So if they decide to lace up some firework Nikes and super kick them in the face, I would not be surprised.
Forgot they did that, but that was interesting. More concerned about what happens to Darby afterwards. Darby has momentum. I seen it live that people love him. Like, he has a character. He's the Gen Z Jeff Hardy. Like, so I'm just paying attention. I'm gonna be very intrigued to see like what his character does or where his feud goes and whatnot. But yeah, that was AEW. Love the show. Matches were fucking great. Blackpool Combat Club shares week of the match with somebody else. But we'll get into SmackDown right now. Go ahead, take it away from here. What you got?
All right. So Triple H starts the show off, pretty much saying, he creates the jobs here. He's the final decision of the match. It ain't The Rock. The Rock, he may be on the board, but he ain't the one that's really pulling the strings like that. So they essentially what he says is the Roman Cody 2 is happening. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it looks like we're gonna get Rock and Roman next week, so that should be exciting. But yeah, Triple H put his foot down. He's like, "This is happening. It is what it is. Cry about it later. If you can buy a Liv shirt that says "Cry about it." Essentially, is what he's saying. So, and then after that, they say that since that's happening, whoever wins the men's chamber in Perth will be the number one contender to fight Seth at WrestleMania. And they listed all the participants for the qualifying match, and you got Randy Orton, Bronson Reed, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, AJ Styles, Miz, Bobby Lashley, Ivar, Drew, Sammy, Dominic, Tom, and Nick Mysterio, and LA Knight. Which is a good crop of
That's just so funny. Tom and Nick.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I think we talked earlier. The only person that was missing was Gunther, but I'm interested at first because like I think they opened with like I think it was Drew and AJ, and I was like, oh well, AJ and Drew are both gonna be in the Elimination Chamber, and then like wrong, they're gonna fight each other.
Yeah.
And so I thought I knew where they were going with this. Apparently, I don't. I'm very interested to see like what happens here.
Yeah. Drew and AJ started off LA Knights on the commentary, which yeah, you said this last week too. Like, I mean, it looks like they're still feuding, so I wouldn't be surprised if LA loses his match next week or whenever he
True.
fights. But yeah, Drew beats AJ in a good match, and so Drew's the first to qualify, and we have another qualifying match later that night that ends the show. And then after that match, Sammy comes out, another great promo. And then we get another promo or a video package
Best
of
one. Best promo of the week.
Pretty Deadly. Yes,
Yes,
boy.
boy.
Yes, boy. Yes, boy. And they had the dead queen, or they had Queen Elizabeth in the sky,
Yeah.
which, you know, that's not where she's at. No disrespect
That
to my UK people.
fuck.
Yeah, I went to Jamaica. I saw how they celebrated.
Fuck. Oh shit, bro. That's great. Fuck, man.
But that was very nice of them to do that, especially, you know, since King Charles. Anyway,
you know, yeah. It was funny because, like, I think the segment into that was like, oh, that cloud looks like the queen. And he's like, just wasn't selling it. Like, that shit was fucking hilarious. But it's funny because I was talking about, like, you know, I didn't want Pretty Deadly lose their momentum against, you know, Pete and Tyler. But the thing is, they create their momentum.
Yeah.
It's not whether they win or lose matches, it's what their promos do. It's very similar in the sense of like a Truth, where if Truth don't wrestle, you're good. As long as he has spots where he's gonna be funny, like he's always gonna have that energy. And I think that's the case for Pretty Deadly, is that win, lose, or draw, they control their momentum.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, that's the thing with wrestling in general. Like, if you're a good character and you can still get a crowd. It doesn't. The wins and losses truly don't matter. It's a scripted thing. Like, for example, in 2023, like until Miz started beefing with Gunther, Miz didn't win a single match all 2023. I think by the end of 2023, he had like 4 wins for the whole year. Didn't matter. But every time Miz comes out, you know, he's getting pops. He's cutting good promos. He's still putting on good matches. So yeah, wins and losses don't matter if you're interesting enough.
you're right, and I
Yeah.
think I would just add on to that, to where you're right. The wins and losses don't necessarily matter, but the audience and fans can tell when something's being pushed on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I mean, where like the momentum, like they control the momentum and not like the company push the momentum. Because for a moment there, Roman was getting booed out the fucking building.
Oh
Big
yeah.
Dog Roman did not translate at all. Blue eye contact Roman,
No.
suffering succotash Roman, dog food Roman, not pushing. But like
No.
Tribal Chief Roman, completely different. And I just hope that, like, you know, Pretty Deadly has a little bit more creative control than, like, you know, other talent.
I think they do. I feel like in the background, I feel like they really trust all these UK wrestlers just as much as they trust their Japanese talent, just as much as they trust any other talent that like you can see who they care about and who they want to give chances to. And you know, depending on the time, not everyone can get their shot all the time, and you know,
Right.
sometimes you got to sit in the
Right.
background. But you know, as long as you stay resilient, you will get your shot. Absolutely. And yeah, Pretty does great.
I'm also a fan of like the people that, hey, I'm gonna go to NXT, rebuild, come right back.
Yeah.
Like I'm a huge fan of that. Side note,
Especially because most of them live in Florida too, so it's like it's kind of easy.
Like, it's easy. Like Mandy, like
Mm.
before Mandy got released, Mandy was gonna come back and be it.
Yeah.
Mandy high key was what they're trying to push Tiffany Stratton as. She might have came back more polished. I know she would have came back more polished.
I mean, she was killing it as women's champion.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was killing it. And I mean, it was to the point where, and this might sound blasphemous to some of these wrestling fans, but her V trigger was hitting a little harder than Kenny's was at some point. Like, she was killing it.
Look,
I mean, I didn't say it was better. I'm just saying there was a couple times where it was hitting. I was like, hey, that's a V trigger. Yeah, I'm for that too. Like when Becky went down there, had the women's champion, she was elevating people.
New Day went down.
Yeah, New Day went down. Dolph went down. AJ went down for a couple weeks. Honestly, I would say Apollo Crews is the only one that didn't hit, because like because Baron Corbin, like even his stuff with Braun, it's been great. Like
I think it was just timing for Apollo, but also like, man, the Nigerian accent was the worst shit
that was
I've
his
ever.
best character. When they got rid of it, he went back downhill. They try to give him a "That's So Raven" gimmick, bro. Like he could see into the future, and like it was so
Yeah,
fucking weird.
I don't know. Because
But
Apollo
what do you?
Crews is a phenomenal talent too. The dude can
Yeah,
wrestle his ass off. Like he's athletic as fuck,
yeah,
super fucking talented. But
absolutely,
I
and a nice
hated
guy.
the Nigerian accent because then it brought me back to Kof and the Jamaican accent.
Yeah,
It's like we don't need to do this to translate to fans. Not every buff bald black man is an African. Like that just seemed crazy to me. It
I
just
mean he
seemed
does have
odd.
legit Nigerian descent, but
Of
no,
course he does.
you are absolutely correct. I mean, I don't know, man. It's still better than Bobby, man. He's just a buff black guy. I don't. He's just,
That is
I,
Bobby's gimmick, buff and black.
he's just buff and
Big
black
black
and
and
wears a
Jack.
suit.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I probably should get that shirt before that goes up. Honestly. I mean, I will probably never wear it, but at least have it in the background for the pod. You know.
um,
So yeah,
going
we
back
get
to SmackDown,
we get
the
Bianca.
Bianca.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know, another chance that Meechin got in the last couple months, and it was a good match.
yeah.
Bianca, like, yeah, it was a solid match. I love both these gals, and yeah, Bianca goes over, and this is and not to bury it, but this is for a qualifying match to enter the women's chamber.
Hmm.
So Becky and Bianca right now are the first two, so that's already.
You're already setting up a
I,
banger,
I mean, last year's WrestleMania, we got two of those women in the chamber right now.
right?
So, I mean, obviously that's yeah. Um, and then Braun shows up again, talking to Triple H, and then Heyman, like they kind of plant the seeds that maybe he might be a Paul Heyman guy in the future, a little bit because Heyman like
He
comes in the
did.
background.
He did say
Yeah.
that's a phenomenal talent right there.
Hmm.
My thing is
Yeah.
like, where do you see what roster fits Braun?
Um, it really depends on which character they want to do with him. Like if they keep with the character that he's doing in NXT, I mean, even though I don't know, it's weird. Okay, so honestly, he can fit on either show. He has one of the best, most entertaining fucking movesets ever. And he's a heel in NXT with Baron, but his moveset is so entertaining, and then him and Baron are so funny that people don't want to boo them. So you should just make him a face. And I would say make him. He doesn't have to be dumb, but make him like a little aloof or just funny, and then
Mhm.
just beat niggas up and be funny, and then maybe some character, and then take it from there. I don't. Yeah. We ain't gotta like reinvent the wheel, but I would say like I don't know, just let him use some of his charisma because he does have charisma. He does have comedic timing. I would start him off as a face because yeah, people don't want to boo this guy. Like
Right.
he showed up on both shows and the crowd was barking,
Yeah.
like it's a
Everybody loves
DMX
him.
concert, So
Yeah, he's
like
gonna be
it's
great. But I think personally I would prefer him on Raw. I think you get a little bit more TV time on Raw. A little bit
yeah.
like that mid card spot is currently being filled with like the Gunther and I guess Jay right now. But I think you can
Mm.
throw Braun in there. Like
Fun
there's
fact, sorry, fun fact. Braun is the last person to pin Gunther.
I have that in the notes. Yeah, I have that in the notes. And I was like, there was a person to dethrone Gunther. I'd be cool with Braun for sure.
Yeah, if it ain't Jay, Braun is a good choice. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't rush him into it, but yeah, no,
No,
Braun.
no, 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 no.
And then yeah, I would say, I mean, because I mean, SmackDown gives that more like sports, like UFC sports type feel, so I could see them wanting him on there. But Raw would be a good chance to let him cook, get some 15-20 minute matches in with like a Miz or a whoever the hell, Ivar.
Right.
Ooh, that would be a banger. Him and Bronson. Yeah. It's, Raw.
There's some.
Yeah.
There's some more. There's better fantasy options with Raw than there is SmackDown.
Yeah, and it's a 3 hour show. They got time to fill. So yeah, I completely agree with that.
I mean, I would love to see Bronson or not Bronson, but Braun and Logan. I think that'd be fucking crazy too.
Oh yeah. That would. Yeah,
smoking.
That'd be very good.
Smoking
That'd be
out
big.
here, yo.
Yeah, I cannot wait till 2K comes out. I'm gonna just start like simulating matches and just watching them.
Just watch. Yeah.
So then,
from there we got the Bailey promo.
Yeah, the Bailey segment. Yeah, Bailey comes out, cuts a promo. Then Dakota comes out. Says she doesn't know anything about it. Bailey's very hesitant to trust her, and then that's when the rest of Damage Control comes out. Um, Looks like they're gonna go for the attack. They do it kind of like Shield style, where each one of them gets a side of the ring,
Mm-hmm.
and you see Dakota slide out. She grabs a chair. It looks like she's gonna hit Bailey from behind, but then she like defends off the rest of Damage Control, and it looks like they're both still hesitant to trust each other. But it's, as of right now, Dakota is Team Bailey.
Yeah.
How do you feel about how that all played out?
I wanted the chair shot. I wanted her to
Mm,
like submit the chair shot. I was like, just hit her with the chair. Like, you show you stand with them. But I understand for story purposes, it makes sense. It would be interesting to see who the third like woman superstar they rope into this, because they're gonna do some kind of trios tag at some point,
mhm.
just to make it even. But I definitely wanted her to take that chair and just
Probably Naomi if she doesn't go to the chamber, but
that's true.
uh, New Zealand, which is where Dakota's from, that is very very close to Australia,
It is.
and she's could looks like she might. I mean, there's a chance she could get cleared in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Maybe that chair shot happens in Australia, or maybe she gets the face push in Australia. But it's close. They're those places are close. So if she's healthy enough, I wouldn't be surprised if we see like at least a tag match. And I don't know.
That's nuts. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but just like because she's from New Zealand, I think uh Bronson Reed is also from New Zealand too,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
he's going to be in the
Yeah, he's
chamber.
he's in the chamber. Yeah, I was like, I didn't
Yeah,
think about it. That just clicked right now.
and that's why I
Yeah,
think
that makes it up.
That's why I think Rhea and Naya is probably going to main event the show.
I
Honestly,
would be cool with that. I'm cool with
Good-
that.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that it's gonna be interesting to see where they go with this. I definitely want the chair shot. I like Dakota. I hadn't seen a lot of her wrestling. I just seen her more in like the managerial just because of the
Mhm.
injury. I think like
Yeah,
she was just starting to cook and then she had got injured.
yeah.
Um,
And she was injured
so
multiple times in NXT too. But yeah,
yeah,
Dakota. I first saw her during the Mae Young Classic, and I've been a fan since. And she's super grown. But yeah, she's had a few multiple injuries, so yeah, the cooking hasn't been consistent. But she's good. She's
yeah.
definitely a good talent. Absolutely.
We get the Randy promo.
Hmm.
Randy just trying to find his way into WrestleMania. Randy's
Yep.
gonna be in WrestleMania regardless. We know Randy. Randy gonna get his. He gonna have a match.
Yeah.
Then we get the Bobby uh, promo, Elimination Chamber promo, where Bobby's talking about how he wants to be in the Elimination Chamber. He's going back after like the main title spots. I
Yep.
don't know if they're gonna do that yet. There's still like unfinished business that Bobby has to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's the Final Testament.
The Final Testament. Yeah.
Fall and pray. You know what I'm saying?
Next match was fuck DIY and Bates and Pete. My
Yeah,
notes for this was
British
smoke
strong style.
it, fire match, tag team
Yeah,
is back, baby.
that's funny. My note was fire ass match.
Yes,
That was really
yes,
it.
bro. Yes.
Yeah.
Pete
Yeah,
Pete's grown
just
on me.
great. Yeah.
This version of I've never seen him. Like this is definitely grown on me. I could see, you know, the star that was supposed to be
Mhm.
for sure.
And then Tyler Bate, big strong boy.
You see that, bro? Like
Yeah, he's fucking he's dope, man.
he
I'm
had
telling you,
Johnny on his shoulders and then
yeah.
was swinging Champa. Like
Yeah, he's a
that's
big
crazy,
strong
yo.
boy. He's a big strong boy. Yeah, man, I'm telling you that like they like these UK dudes. Like they're like they're good and they're young as hell too. Like Tyler Bate, I think is 25, maybe 24.
That's nuts.
I don't remember how old Peter Dune is, but yeah, they're still young too. So man,
Solid match. That was definitely like that was for the NXT fans for sure. That was for
hmm
the black and gold era fans. Like that was a
yeah,
great fucking match, yo.
absolutely. Yeah, if you watch Black and Gold, or just for any point in time, then you probably seen that matchup or at least that matchup tease. And yeah, it was. Yeah, Triple H is he Triple H loves his kids and he's letting his kids cook. Because again, like we said this last week, if Vince was here, we wouldn't be getting these tag matches like this.
Nah.
Gargano and Ciampa would not be getting 20 minutes twice in 1 week.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
I need them at least once a month. I need to see DIY once a month. Like they're a
Oh yeah,
great team, yo. Great
yeah.
fucking team.
And yeah, they're yeah. I mean, yeah, we need to get Johnny's wife needs to start doing some more stuff. hopefully with Indy, Hartwell,
They're a
but
team. Yeah.
yeah, they're a team. Yeah, see, I mean, yeah, they just got to build this women's tag team division up too. But yeah, man, again, split these belts up. We
Yeah.
we we
Get them split.
we got so many fire teams that are just not doing shit, and I will say this
Uh,
every week. Damn it. And
no,
then
it's true.
yeah, and then okay, so after that we get a quick R Truth segment. Brian Saxon's talking to Kevin Owens, and
Mhm.
then our truth comes out, calls him the Miz.
Miz.
And he's like, you need to watch out for Nick. He's like, what, Tom, Nick Mysterio? And he's like, no, Nick Aldis. The first time he gets Nick Aldis' name right. And then while this happens, the crowd is chanting, "We want truth," and he's getting Cena pops, bro. He's getting
over.
he's like the
Over
crowd
the
is like,
top.
"We
He's
want
over,
truth."
bro.
Like since I've been watching, and again, like he gets funnier every year, even during his 24/7 title stuff, like or the dance break stuff with Carmella. I don't ever remember hearing the crowd say, "We want truth." So like hearing the
Nah.
crowd scream, "We want truth," is fire, and I'm sure he has to be feeling good about. I'm sure everyone has to be feeling good about it
But
because
he has
he's hilarious.
so many great spots, yo.
Yeah.
Like I think there was a match where he pulls the ladder out like it's Money in the Bank.
Oh
And
yeah,
he's climbing the
that was a
ladder.
Royal Rumble.
Yeah, bro. Like it's just shit that like you don't think of, but it also takes a very special individual to translate those actions to connect with the audience. And truth is
Yeah.
just he has it, yo.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
very good.
And apparently after that show, it was either a live show or it was a dark match after. I think it was a dark match. Him and Gunther fight,
Yeah, I
and
did see
he
these clips. Yeah,
yeah, he was doing the Cena stuff, which I'm sure that was fire because our truth is he has a great moveset.
yeah.
Comedy aside, like he can go in the ring. It's very Orange Cassidy
It
esque,
is.
which
That's
is
what it
why
is. Yeah,
which I like. Which that's why I like Orange Cassidy. It's like yeah, the gimmick is funny, but he can actually go in the ring when if you book the match that way.
which is
But
also highly impressive because Truth is also like attitude era wrestler. Like Truth, like
he's like 47.
yeah, like that's impressive as fuck, bro.
Yeah,
Like no, yeah, Truth
first
is
Black
great.
NWA champion.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Truth is yeah. He's been creating a legacy for sure. So then after that, or oh no,
gets his
Logan has
challenger.
yeah, he gets the challenger. He was funny. His stuff was funny as hell.
I should make The Rock. I should come and slap people and leave. You hop on a private jet.
Yeah, bro, he had me in tears, bro. Logan is he's amazing. He's amazing. And then yeah, it's we get a rematch with him and Miz. That should be great. Um
The
uh
Miz.
yeah.
Yeah.
That should be great. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if KO F's with that. Because
Yeah.
honestly, Logan doesn't need to be in a match. Honestly, I feel like they should just run him and KO back. Personally, for EC, for Chamber, but yeah, I don't want any champions in this match. Even though Gunther would be fire, Logan doesn't need to
No,
be in
yeah.
there. And like no,
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
yeah, let them get a solo match. Because yeah, like last pay per view we didn't get that many single titles as
Yeah.
we talked about. But then yeah, so after that we get the main event, which is Sammy versus the Legend Killer, RKO, Randy Orton. Great match. I noted because I was watching it with DT because I was talking about it last week. He hasn't taken that many back bumps, etc.
Mm-hmm.
He took a lot of damage this match.
You did.
He was working. He was I don't know how much was selling because that boy was wincing a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know how much of that was selling, but he did take a lot of damage. And yeah, what do you think about that match?
For me, that's just like the connecting part, and this could just been me just watching so much wrestling and like as like, in the lot of time that I do, I was kind of fatigued by this point.
Mhm.
But I will say that I do like Sammy led this one. He was driving, the momentum for this match. A lot of the spots he was setting up. I think he had like a nice like backdrop to Randy on the table, on the announcer's table on the outside.
Yeah,
Like it was all really solid.
good Blue Thunder bomb spot. I love when he hits the Blue Thunder
Yeah.
bomb. It's one of my favorite moves.
And then Randy, like, it's just Randy. Like, there's nothing
Yeah.
much you can say about him besides like he just fits wherever he go. Randy like peanut butter, bro. Like he goes on everything. Like he can
Yeah.
do so much with him. Um, and I'm
Yeah.
okay with him being in the chamber. It just makes the match. You want to see RKO in the chamber. It's the
Mhm.
Viper inside. You're locked in with the Viper. It makes
Mhm.
the most sense. It's just now where do we go with Sammy?
They're gonna they're gonna create this underdog story. I mean, there might be a way he could still get in the chamber,
It's true.
or he might but they're gonna play on the sympathy, and they're gonna make him the ultimate underdog. They're gonna make us by the time he gets a world title shot, our mouths will be foaming for hopefully him winning that match. They're
Yeah.
gonna build Sammy into similar to like the way that we kind of feel about Cody, except for Cody's a little different because he has that politician swagger when he
Yeah. That
talks and stuff,
America.
you
He
know.
got that. Yeah.
But he's the kind of baby face that you really want to believe in. And Sammy's that kind of believable. Like you want to believe in him. You want him to have the big win because he's never had the big win, and they're gonna book it. They're gonna book it that way, and it's gonna be a different way that they do it, but it's gonna work out eventually. But as of right now, yeah, I don't know. I'm
We
gonna
gotta tune
take this
in.
one day to day. I'm gonna take this one day to
Yeah.
day, but I wouldn't be surprised if he finds a way into the chamber or finds a way yeah, it, assuming
We'll
Drew wins
see.
the chamber. Yeah, we'll see.
You
Yeah,
probably
we'll
do like
see.
a Shinsuke like Sammy match. I could see them probably doing something like that, like somewhere. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
And then to
yeah,
close
go
the
ahead.
show, after Randy wins, it's RKO out of nowhere, of course. Drew comes out and they have a face to face. Which, if you know the history with that, then during the pandemic when Drew was champion, him and Randy had a couple bangers. Um,
I didn't know
Hell in
that.
a Cell match. Yeah, no, yeah. I wanted besides Bobby Lash, I think Randy Orton was Drew's second big feud, and they had like a 4 week or it might have been, yeah, they had like a 2 month feud or so. They had a Hell in a Cell match. Randy took the belt off of him. Drew got the belt back, so that's why Drew's a 2 time. Um, but yeah, no, they had an ambulance match. They had a Hell in a Cell match. Yeah, so yeah, you should yeah, if you get the chance, yeah.
I'm about to check that out.
Yeah, it was a good feud. So
It might.
it's
It's funny because that might be a match of the week. It might lead up into a hidden gem that I saw earlier this week.
hmm.
Um, second match of the week. The secret boss character is Trick Williams, Ilya Dragunov.
Hey, book
Hey,
that trick. Yeah.
what?
Oh
Ilya
yeah.
like that.
I
Hey,
like it,
Ilya Dragunov is like that, bro. I
bro.
I was unaware. I
That's what I
didn't
was,
know.
bro. Does not miss. But man, and every match it looks like he's literally he's an anime character to me too. Like every match it seems like it seems like he gives 1,000% in every single thing he does. Like just
I
walking, he puts everything into it.
looking at him, I was like, okay, I know what kind of wrestler he's gonna be. This is gonna be your technical Pete Doom kind of wrong. I was wrong. I ain't never seen a dude who looked like he might be like under 6 feet. He power bombing, bro. Like
Mhm.
watching small people power bomb to me is like watching like point guards get triple doubles. It's like the most impressive shit ever.
It would be
It's
for some
like
fire shit.
it was like you're not supposed to be doing this shit, and he's out here
Mm.
doing it. And like that match was fucking amazing, bro.
Yeah.
That was a good fucking match.
It was fun. It's funny. I was trying to watch Vengeance while we were recording, and for whatever reason, Peacock was tripping because I was literally trying to watch Vengeance. And then, like, I had Vengeance set up when we recorded last week, but we stopped recording right before the show started. And I don't know. Anyway, I do plan on running that show.
Yeah,
And
that's a good one.
I didn't put it on the docket, but yeah, at some point when we get more popular, we'll maybe make some of our other friends watch the shows we can't watch, And then
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
there's so much wrestling. There's like 10
It's
hours of wrestling a week.
it's a lot,
Oh man,
bro. It's a lot,
yeah,
but it's great, and I love it.
it's great. It's great, man. And
But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. This
yeah,
is it.
absolutely.
This is episode 3. We're now 3 episodes in. Hopefully y'all like it. Once again, Hero, give me your social so they can follow you.
The Heroic Rager on Instagram, and I'm Heroic Rager on Twitter. And yeah, I don't do any other socials. So that's it. And then just catch me on the Monday Night Wave, baby.
With that, you can follow me on Twitter at Loner Beats, on Instagram at Loner Beats. We're gonna get the social up for the Monday Night Wave TikTok. I'm gonna try to figure something out. Just get us out there a little bit more. Discoverability is everything now.
I like it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
With that being said, thank y'all for coming in. Thank y'all for being here. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We will catch you guys in episode 4. Peace out.
Yeah, man.